2, 1. So, hello, beautiful people. Hope you're all well.
Hey,
You can all see the three of us here already. They're all starting to come in. It does take a bit of a delay. So, we got Matthew. Oh, I never can do this. No, that way. We got Matt. He's back in the house. Let's go, Matt. Let's go. This is the fourth appearance for Matt. Uh, different hat. Different hat today. You got the stars on today. American. All American stuff. So Matt is all relaxed with his coffee probably in hand. And as promised, guys, Matt delivered. We got the fantastic Connie, juror number 8. You've all been
juror number 8.
absolutely, they have been screaming for you, Connie.
She's one of my
Screaming your name.
angels. She came to save me.
Yeah, Matt calls me one of his angels, but we all were. We all saw it for what it was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, we got some of the chat coming in here now. Hi, Christine. Good morning, Jim, Melissa, Just Jurors. Hi, Christine and Just Jurors. Welcome, Connie. We're so glad to have you here from Sarah P. We've got welcome back, Matt, as well. So normally people are here for Matt, but today, at the start today, I said that we got Connie here for the first hour or so. And so people are here for you, Connie. They're not here for Matt or me or anybody like that. They're all here for you this morning. I think they've had enough of us, Matt. I think they've had enough.
Yeah.
Just being like, oh, those two guys. Let's get someone intelligent on it. That's why we got Connie on here to give us a different viewpoint. So Connie, just so you know, this is an 16-week series we're doing with Matt. It started off 8 weeks, and it's now gone to 16 weeks, and this is the fourth week we're doing now. And the reason for that is we started it with covering the trial every day. For 7 days of trial, we started covering it, but we learned very quickly that Matt's got so much to get off his chest about this trial that we can only cover about 2 hours per episode, and it goes on for about 7, 8 hours because he wants to say so much. So we've learned so much from him. So that's why we appreciate you being here today, because to hear your story is going to be unique as well. So we'll give it a couple of minutes just to get more people in here, Connie, and then we'll start the questions for you. Um, the eighth juror. Hi, Julian. Hi, Just Jurors. The eighth juror is always the best juror. I'm so excited to hear from a juror. Yes. And hello, Julian, there as well. Um,
Has
so
this
yeah,
ever
more
happened
people will be
before that you
coming in.
know about, Dylan?
What, in the
The
sense of a
situation
juror?
we have. A juror
No,
being
not like
on, the
this.
guy that was acquitted.
No, so
Never?
what way? So obviously you both did the criminal. Oh, so what's his name? I don't remember
Right.
his name.
Right.
Potentially criminal. With
You
Sean, I
remember,
believe
Connie,
his name.
the name of that podcast that we did?
Pardon me?
Do you remember the name of the podcast that we did together?
Oh
What was his
gosh,
name again?
I
Sean, I
I
think his
don't
name was.
remember.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you do get sometimes a juror on, maybe not like this, but you get juror on and stuff. But what we're doing with the series, you don't get that. Do you know what I mean? You don't get that at all. Um, so the fact we got Connie here as well is just, we're just so lucky, you know. Um, hello everyone, welcome Connie. You look nice and chilled and happy, Matt. It's good to see you looking happy. I think that's for a reflection we've had, Connie, about Matt is we didn't know what we were going to get with Matt coming in, but he's been so chilled, he's been so relaxed, he's been great. So hi Sandra. What the original? Okay, yeah, we'll get into that now. Just a good question, just viewers. Hi Lou. Right. Hi Lou. She's
Lou!
saying hello to you all. Lou.
Hi,
She
Lou.
says hello to you all. Right, we're going to get into it because people can catch up as we go through this. So, Connie, as I say, welcome to you. Before I let everyone ask questions, I know Matt's got questions, I got loads of questions, everyone's got questions, but we want to know a little bit about you. Who is Connie? Where are you from? And well, we know where you're from, but tell us about your background and stuff like that.
Um, well, my name's Connie. I Curry. It's not a big. It's no secret. My name's out there. I grew up in Delaware County, just north of Columbus, Ohio, and I've been born and raised here. And I actually live on the same road I went to high school. So I retired from Delaware County, so I'm very familiar with county tax dollars and county things that go on in the
Did
county.
Connie,
Wasted
did you
tax
say
dollars.
EMT? You said
Yes.
That's a ambulance
Yeah.
driver.
Yeah, well, we're more than an ambulance driver. We save a lot of lives too out there. But yes, I retired from Delaware County EMS. I'm also I've done a lot. I've written for a lot of magazines. I've written some columns. Writing has always been my love, but it's kind of like being a great guitar player. You can't always get out there and make the big bucks doing it. So I'm married for almost 50 years. I'm an old woman.
Hey,
happily married to the man I grew up together.
Awesome.
We grew up together. And we have
That's
3
great.
children, and we have lots of grandchildren who we just
Yeah, you
adore.
do.
So I'm enjoying retirement. We travel. We have a cabin in Tennessee. The list goes on. But as far as jury duty, I'd never been selected or even on jury duty ever in my life. I've always been an active voter, very political about my stance on how I feel about government, and I've always been honored to be able to vote. So I was always shocked that I'd never been asked to be a juror. So when I was, and I got this case, it was like, whoa, that was something big in our county.
Sorry, how does that happen? So we park that. How did it happen? What happens in the process of becoming a juror? Did you get a letter? Was it
Yes. I got a questionnaire in the mail I had to fill out for a possible juror, and I was on call, I believe it was for 2 months. So I'd have to call in every week, and for whatever reason, cases were settled, postponed, delayed. And the very last call in that I was to make and be possibly never a juror happened to be Matt's case, and I was to report for jury duty. And so we walked in not even knowing what the case was, and they had, I can't remember, but that room was full of potential jurors. It was, I looked around and I thought, oh, I'll never get selected for this group, but there must have been 80 or so applicants, potential jurors, and they excused so many, and I just kept standing there, and I guess you could say I was one of the last men standing, and I became a juror, and it was an interesting experience for me. And I'm kind of I'm a vocal person anyway. I kind of see things black and white, say what I think, but I also think Matt Moore got really wronged in this, and I'm just kind of here to help make a wrong a right, because it's very sad to think how someone's life can be ruined over gun-ho detectives with very little experience and very low crime in Westerville, Ohio. And I have to explain, where I live, Delaware, Ohio, where Emily was found was right on Delaware County, Franklin County line. So it was very close to being Franklin County who would have had the court hearing. But it was right on the south end of our county line. So that's why it was handled in Delaware County Court. So anyway, it changed my life. I mean, it was quite an experience, and it was stressful, and I still don't know how Matt got through all that, because it was emotional for me, and I was just a juror doing my job. So
there's a few things you said there that I believe in karma, I believe in stuff like that, and I believe things happen for a reason. So there's a few things that happened there, like in the sense of when she goes back on, you were literally the last week, one more week, and you wouldn't be on the case. A little bit further down south, you would have been in another county, so you wouldn't have done it. There's a lot of things, that jigsaw pieces that fit together here, really. I believe that things do happen for a reason. So I
Trust
do.
me.
Well, he calls you his angel. There's truth behind that, in my
It all
opinion.
fell into place.
his life was on
Yeah.
the line. I mean, he could have been wrongly sent to prison for life.
Yeah.
And we all saw right through all of that. And Westerville is a little suburb north of Columbus that is very low crime. It's an upscale area of right on the edge of Delaware County and Franklin County. There's very little crime there. So what we're dealing with here when this all went down, I believe, and from what I listened to, and I listened to a lot in court, we had gun-ho cops that were excited about, and they got tunnel vision, and they accused Matt pretty quickly, and they had very little experience.
Yeah. So,
Connie, do you think? I'm sorry. Can I just ask one thing?
no,
Do
carry on.
you think that oh geez, that it was they went too quickly to murder?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, for all you knew, or me as an outsider looking in, she could have, and no disrespect, God rest Emily's soul,
No,
but
I mean,
she could have gotten a car and left you for another man, or she could have decided to go with some girlfriends and take off on a party weekend, whatever.
Right.
I mean,
Whatever.
it could have been anything. And they immediately jumped to conclusion because they automatically, I guess statistics, well, they do show that most times when there's a
that's a cop out when they say that. I don't.
What?
But the other part of that was, do you think when they found her that they were incapable of turning it around? Did you hear me?
What'd you ask me? You got cut out.
Yeah, we got cut off. Do you think when they found her, was the Westville Police Department, they were just incapable of changing direction? Because that's what I got.
Well, they certainly shouldn't have been incapable if they were doing their jobs. There's nothing wrong with saying we were wrong. We have no evidence here, but I think they got in so deep, and it was a power thing or something. They felt big, and they had this tunnel vision. They got in so deep, they didn't want to admit that they were wrong. And there was no evidence there. Absolutely no evidence.
Right. You'd think that they would just know better to bring
and they automatically thought, oh, the husband did it. She's dead and he killed her. It was disappointing for me as a juror to think about all the ifs here. Like, if you would have been sent to prison for a crime you didn't commit, if God forbid you didn't have an inheritance that come along so you could get good representation. There's a lot of ifs here, and I also think about all the people in prison that's possible. Matt and I've talked about this before, but
you have to think about that.
All the people that's possibly in prison that didn't have good representation, that are innocent, that do long periods in prison or never get out of prison. So Matt is fortunate in a lot of ways. He got his life back, but I also see Matt not being quiet about it because he wants his name back, and he wants his, he's angry and he's upset, and I don't, who can blame him when you're accused of something you didn't do? And the 14 months he sat in jail, and the loss of his dad while he's in jail, and he didn't even get to go to his burial. That is just so sad. So, he wants his name back, and he's out there speaking, and I do my part as much as I can, because I'm a little angry at my county that wasted a lot of tax dollars on something that should have never gone to trial. There was there was zero evidence, zero. Should have never gone to trial.
So that's interesting. We will get into that now. We'll get into that. But before I get into the evidence element of it, there's a couple of questions here, right? I just want to get into it. I will try and ask all the questions, guys. I can't promise, but a couple of ones here before we get into the trial. Do jurors apply there to become? Did you have to apply to become a juror, or do you get selected to become a juror?
Apply as a juror?
Yeah. Do you have to apply?
I fill out a potential juror fills out a questionnaire. It is sent back to the courts, and
Right.
then they look. So they have some information on you as the juror, potential juror, and then as they're making their selections, the defense attorney and the prosecuting team is making a selection on which jurors they feel would be best for the
I'm with you.
case.
I'm with
So
you.
they asked me a direct. Some of the jurors that were selected were not asked any questions, but obviously the attorneys were looking at questionnaires, and for whatever reason they felt the need to select the jurors that they did select. I think my background in EMS maybe played a role in me being chosen as a juror.
Yeah,
I don't
I think
know.
so. I think so. It makes sense.
I wasn't
It would
there
make
for
sense.
that, was I, Connie? That was
No, you were
was
not
that
there
odd
for
that I
that.
wasn't there? I
No,
thought
the
I was gonna
room
be
was
for all that.
full of, I mean, all the way around. I mean, I wish I don't know if I ever heard. I'm telling you, I think there were like 80 I mean, jurors,
Yeah.
and excused.
It was just odd to me that I wasn't there for that. When the first time I saw you, you were already selected. I mean, I don't know
Right.
how
We
many
were
you guys
already,
sat up on the chairs up top of the
right.
jury goes.
And
Then they
when we
filled
were,
in a bunch of. Go ahead.
right. And when we were selected, we still didn't know what our job
Right.
pertained to. That came out,
Right.
when you came out with your attorney, Diane,
Right.
and the prosecuting
Yeah,
team came out.
they had a couple. They switched a couple people, just a few. They got rid of a couple. One guy said he couldn't convict unless they could prove a motive, and you don't need motive. Remember that
Yeah.
guy? I don't know if you remember that guy,
Yeah,
but they
I
got
do
rid of him.
remember that.
There was a
I
wife
do.
of a cop that they got rid of. They got rid of her.
You have a
But there
good
was just a
memory.
couple.
Yes, I do remember
Yeah,
them.
I was paying attention.
Yeah, you were.
But you getting picked, I didn't have anything to do with that. I was really paranoid when I went in there. They
No,
didn't tell me what was going to go on. And I'm like, you guys already picked a jury? Aren't I supposed to be around for everything? Yeah, that was tough. That was really tough.
and
To
obviously
not really know who I could trust. All I knew was Diane. I just met Allie, you know. it was tough.
well, your ray of hope was pretty shattered at that point,
Yeah, I
probably,
was done. Yeah.
and lack of faith in everything, and the courts. You probably had a.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know how you did it. I said that
got my
before.
groove back. I got my
He's got
groove
his
back
groove back now.
right when because they didn't show me any of the discovery, very little. I think I got about 800 pages of discovery out of tens of thousands of pages, So I didn't see any of the footage, the body cam footage. So it was like a memory. It was like all of a sudden there I was, and I was like, oh, there's reality. I was like, there it is. And when they came back, when Hollis came back, John Kramer, and said, hey, listen, I have some information. It was seen by a neighbor this morning between like 9 and 10. And I'm like, really? Yeah. I'm like, and what's going to happen at 10 and 10 in the morning? And West was excited. And when that happened, things after that, things just started. I started getting.
You cut off. You cut off, Matt. You've cut off. You've cut off, Matt. You've gone.
I'm here.
What?
Can you hear me?
I can see you, Connie. Just Matt. Yeah, no, your internet's gone. You did too distant, mate. You're gone. You cut off. You frozen.
Back.
You'll be back. So, Connie, whilst he's away, I got a question for you. This isn't my next question. Had you or the jurors seen much in the media about Matt's case? Well, I said before becoming a juror, but once you knew about the case, did you know what the case was about? Have you seen it in the media at all?
Well, I knew something was up the day I walked in for the first day of jury duty, which was pretty much the jury selection stuff, because there were a lot of cameras out in the parking lot, and I thought, this is something big going down in our relatively safe, quiet community. And I thought, something big's going on with the cameras out there. And then they were out there every day when we would leave, trying to get information, or we were not going to or allowed until it was over. But yeah, the media was real hot and heavy into that case.
Yeah. Well, did you personally know much about it then, beforehand, or
Did
were
I
you just a little
what?
bit new? Did you know much about Matt and
Oh,
the case
absolutely.
yourself?
No, I hadn't even
No.
heard anything about um, the case. I don't remember anything about it if it was on the news. I don't remember anything about this case with Matt and Emily until the day I went in as a juror, and we were briefed on what we were there to do.
And that was the start of it. Look, I got a popular question here for you, Connie, right? Everyone's asking me this question. So I'll ask you this question because I think even Matt wants to know the answer, and everybody. So just jurors, right? Is asking, Melissa's asking, I would love to know what the original vote was for Matt in the jury room. Um, any insight from you we can get would be amazing. So what when you first got back into the deliberations, what happened? Did you take a vote, and what was that first vote like?
You were cut out, but what was your question again?
I'll say it again. It's all good. I would just jurors. Melissa wants to know. I'd love to know what the original vote was for Matt in the jury room. So when you went back, what was the original guilty, not guilty between everybody?
Oh, so after it was all over and we went in for deliberation, we all kind of breathed a sigh of relief that it was over. And I think I was the one that we all kind of sat there waiting on someone to take charge. And I finally said something like, why don't we just go around the room and I'd like, what our thoughts are, guilty or not guilty. And everyone around the room within the first 10 minutes said not guilty. Everybody.
Wow,
So because we didn't want to
that's
jump to
huge.
conclusion or look reckless, and that was like late afternoon when we went in anyway. It had been a long day of 7-8 hours. So it was pretty much time to go home anyway. So someone suggested, why don't we go home, sleep on this?
No, I can't see her and I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hey, Connie, can you
I
hear
can hear
me?
you. I can hear you, Connie. Yeah, can you hear me, Connie? I can hear you.
I'm here. I
Yeah,
can
I
go
can
in the
hear
other.
you. No, I can hear you.
Okay. Matt, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear both of you.
Okay. So I don't know where I left off that you did not hear,
You went
but
home. You went
so we
home.
decided to go home and give it some thought, sleep on it, come back refreshed the next morning, go over all of the discovery, which was all right there on our table, and just make sure we had it right because we all decided so quickly.
Yeah.
And so it was rather quickly that so even though there were several hours before we actually rang the bell, so to say, for him to bring that in, and we did go over it for 2 or 3 hours prior, but it was all decided within the first 10 minutes, actually, the night before,
Wow.
the evening before.
And no one swayed. No one swayed back to guilty at any point or anything like that.
Pardon me?
No one, when we went through the discovery, no one said, "Oh, hang on, I actually now
No,
think he's
no.
guilty."
We had one of the girls went up to a chalkboard and we kind of did a timeline and went over everything. No, I mean, if there were some that thought he was not guilty because there wasn't enough evidence. But they never said that vocally. They all said not guilty.
Yeah. Okay.
And there was
And
absolutely no evidence. There was zero evidence. I mean, it was a no-brainer.
so, because this leads me into a good question by Perry. He's asking, what did you think was the most compelling exculpatory evidence that he was innocent, basically?
Um, there was no DNA. There was nothing. Nothing. I mean, supposedly her body was moved from the condo into the woods. There was absolutely no DNA, nothing. They combed the house. All their clothes were laying there at the washer from the night before. And she had come home. But there was nothing there. Matt welcomed them to check our phones. I mean, he was probably looking back on it. He probably wishes he wouldn't have volunteered so much, but he was an innocent guy trying to help find Emily, you know, he wasn't thinking like a criminal. He was just wanting to be helpful. So there was just no DNA. There was absolutely no evidence. There was not any, and you know, at the upscale condos that they lived in, there was lots of cameras around there. Nobody saw anything. If she was moved from the condo out into the woods, there was nothing captured.
Someone would have saw me. It's a real small neighborhood. You can't walk down the street in that neighborhood and not be seen.
Right. And I think that it was probably a nice but nosy neighborhood where they all walked a lot in that perimeter around the park. And so I think they all knew each other's faces if they didn't, and knew names. And they were, a lot of them were friends. So there's just no, and actually the very first day, the first bit of evidence we saw was the body cam footage of when Matt called in that his wife was missing and they came to his home. He was just trying to be a real helpful guy. He was voluntarily giving up everything. Take this. Yes. Can I have, you know, did you check my, you know, you can, sure, open my trunk. He was offering help. He certainly didn't act like a guy trying to hide something. That's for sure. So I found that to be interesting too. The day, you know, I guess someone criticized me on social media, which by the way can be cruel. Something about how I found he was not guilty day one. I did say I thought he was not guilty from day one when I saw that footage. But what I mean by that is I still kept my eyes and ears open, waiting for the prosecuting team to give me something. Show me the way. Show me he did this.
Right.
And it was never there.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you thought not guilty right away doesn't mean that you didn't go the rest of the trial with an open mind.
Absolutely. I went in
don't
every
worry
day.
About those people. I mean,
I went in every day.
Most people understand that. They don't, you know. Yeah, you thought I was guilty or innocent right as soon as you saw me, but that doesn't mean that something couldn't have changed your mind. You were never shown anything.
I wish there were some things that there's so much to that trial that I heard and saw, Matt heard and saw, that the public will never hear or see. And when we did our interview on Dateline, private, away from the cameras, they laid a laptop on our laps, the three of us. Have you seen this? And they hit play. And it was when Matt was in the interrogation room and they were in his face, in his throat, threatening him to admit to doing it. And I don't know how he did not crack under pressure just from the threatening intimidations and unprofessionalism that was in that room. And
do you know why they didn't show that at trial, Connie?
Why? Well, it was pretty.
I don't know. I mean, that would have been a big thing, I think. They
I
didn't
don't
show
know.
him accusing me at trial.
I don't know if they'd have
Yeah.
showed it. They'd have sure seen, Westerville residents would have seen how unprofessional and how horrible they treated
Well,
you.
when they
Inhumane.
said that I wasn't showing up at for any searches, people didn't realize that I was accused of murder, and they were like, "Well, this guy's just not showing up for searches." The reason I wasn't showing up at searches was because the cops were there. Now you don't go on searches after they accuse you of murder. I don't think a lot of
Well,
people knew about that. I don't know why they didn't show it to you at trial.
well, by then, Matt, too, weren't you advised to keep your mouth shut? You'd already volunteered and tried to help and said too much just simply because you were
Yeah,
an innocent guy trying to find your wife, right?
but at trial they told you that I didn't participate in any trials. They made an issue of it, and
That you
without
didn't
you
just,
knowing that they accused me of accused me of that day, I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. I mean, if you would have saw me getting accused, you would have been like, of course he's not gonna go down your searches, but they
but
didn't. So
but Diane came back, your attorney, and had evidence showing that you did your own searches with your buddy and your brother, I think. So you were out there doing your own thing. And absolutely, you should stay away from cops when you're already accused 10 minutes into the calling your wife in. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but you called in, my wife is missing, and boom, all of a sudden they're thinking you did it. It was that
just
fast.
like that.
It was disheartening to think that I live in a county and I think I'm going to stay out of Westerville. That's so,
I would advise that,
oh my
Connie.
gosh, they were just so gun ho on, I don't know. I think it was about
I
their
don't know
own
how old Grubbs
agenda.
is,
It
but
was,
he acted awfully young.
pardon me?
You say he doesn't know how old Grubbs is, but he's acted very young.
He'd only
I
had a
think he's
year.
young.
He was only a year into being a
I'm losing her again.
detective. And I believe he was working on his own agenda for some kind of promotions or something.
Political, yeah. Political. Just to jump back a second, a lot of people saying in the chat, but also my banner behind us, the wall behind me, well, not me, the screen is saying innocent unless proven guilty. So, Connie, people on social media, fuck them. Don't listen to people on social media. They got agendas and stuff like that. You are 100%. You were supposed to go into that. And I wish everyone did this, but not everyone does this. You are supposed to go in with a defendant presumed innocent unless proven guilty. So he
Right.
should have been not guilty. So you 100% should have had him as not guilty on day one, and then gone through the process. But he never changed. So a colleague keeps dropping off, but you did everything right. So there will always be people on the internet that will hate you and stuff, but they're keyboard warriors. They are just keyboard warriors that have never had any life experience and just want to hate for the sake of hating. That's why we're doing with this with Matt, because Matt's experiencing that as well, and it's horrible. But in terms of Westerville for you now, how do people in public, do you get any hassle? Do you get any abuse or anything? Or everyone's quite sound?
I live far enough north from there that I've not felt threatened in any way. And, you know, I try to just stay off. I don't dig for stuff on social media.
Yeah,
Sometimes
good.
there are comments on there that are just so ignorant. And I'm sorry to use that word, but ignorant, that people have no clue what they're talking about.
Hmm.
I mean, I lived through it all in trial. All of us jurors went into that like any job. And I think I was always an outstanding, hardworking woman in any job performance. I went in there like that was a job and I was going to do my job.
Right.
And I did do my job and I did it well. And I know we made the right decision.
You go, girl. That's what it should be.
Kind of,
Do you know what I mean?
did you ever
That's
feel like you were gonna fall asleep at any point? Where you're like, sometimes, I think I
Oh,
almost fell asleep once. I can't at my own murder trial. I almost fell asleep.
no. Well, you know, I do think I got a little sleepy at some points, but we got enough
You know,
breaks and I'd go get coffee and drink coffee because they were
you
really good
guys
to
were
us.
all troopers. all you guys, if you're watching this, all my jury. I mean, I would look up there, and I'm like, you guys, they're 3-4 hours straight, and I'm like, I'm falling asleep over here. I couldn't imagine what it's like for you up there.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if this is important or I should just not even bring up fuel the fires, but they even made, when I came out of the courtroom, because I'm vocal, because I work for the county, because I have a little bit of knowledge about county government and the bureaucratic bullshit and how the tax, I used to get aggravated at the county and the tax dollars that were wasted. So when I came out of that courtroom and we found Matt not guilty, or as I was walking out when they read his verdict, and he looked up at us and went like this, I'm sure you've seen the video, and he was just, oh, it's very emotional to watch. I still get teary-eyed watching it because I wear my heart on my sleeve and I care about people immensely. That's why I worked in EMS. I wanted to help people and take care of people. And when he threw his hand up like this and said, meaning I think he meant thank you or God, I'm relieved, like that. I don't know what and I just kind of threw my hand up. It was a reaction. And somebody made something out like that I knew Matt. I'm like, oh, please. I was just responding back in a way like, what I meant by that was, you're welcome, buddy. You're welcome.
Thank
Move
you.
on, live on, get your life in order. You deserve it. You spent 14 months behind bars for something you didn't do. Have a great life. That's what I meant by that.
Yeah. No, I get that. It's just people are ignorant. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
don't worry about that. We've got a question here. So just to remind everyone, I will try and get to your questions, guys. So don't worry. I just want the flow to go. I want Connie to get, say what she wants to say as well. But I'll try and get through the questions. So don't worry. So we got a question from Nunya. So Nunya is actually a grandmother herself. So she's really into these trials. Was Connie bothered by the fact that they never investigated anyone else? Is she convinced Emily took her own life?
That's an interesting question,
Yeah.
and very interesting question, because at deliberation, I knew Matt was not guilty. And at the time, I wasn't sure if somebody did murder her. But now that I've had time to think about it and look back on it, I think Emily, I don't know if Matt cares if I say this, but I think Emily probably committed suicide. I think Emily was a troubled, broken soul, and I do suicide. And Westerville got it wrong for sure, but I do believe she probably committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that do you think that the nose or the fractures to her nose area, do you think that they were legitimate, or
they were non-existent?
You think that they were made up?
I think they were non-existent.
Right.
And I believe that the prosecuting team moved that skeletal, poor little Emily's skeleton, so many times, trying to find somebody that would corroborate their story and go, yes, she was hit in the face. Yes, she was murdered. Yes, she was beaten up. Yes, it was staged. Wrong, wrong, wrong. So in the process of moving this skeleton, I don't know how they could accurately decide anything on that and have it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another question for you then. Did anything stand out to you? Because it's this sort of this question sort of leads into what you've just said there. Did anything stand out to you as ridiculous? So when the state were presenting their evidence, was there anything that stood out as ridiculous? Something that you couldn't believe they were trying to use against Matt? And not just the skeleton of the body, but was there any piece that you like, this is ridiculous? This makes no sense at all. Well, I mean, it might be the whole thing, but
all of it didn't make sense at all. Let me tell y'all, there were three of them.
Yeah.
And I still, even though I had very little experience as a juror, I was still smart enough to sit there thinking, why are we here? What's going on
Why
here?
are we
This is
reading books
crazy.
backwards, Connie? I'm sorry.
Pardon me?
Why are we reading books backwards?
It was crazy, but no, they called so many witnesses. Diane, Matt's attorney, called, I think, 3.
Two.
Okay, 2. Sorry. It's been a while, Matt.
And we didn't even need the one at the end. We didn't even need the guy that
Right.
did the tested the branch. I guess that, hey, the branch would help stood up to the weight, but other than that, it was Heather Garvin. It's pretty much all we needed.
But there was nothing that the prosecuting team presented or witnesses that they presented been convinced me that maybe Matt did it. There was nothing.
21 witnesses they made you go through.
21 witnesses.
They
yep.
made you sit through a bartender, a dental hygienist. What did they offer? What did the bartender offer?
Nothing.
That we seem to be getting along. I don't understand why they had her up there.
And Dr. Forgive me, I'm trying to think of his name.
Smock.
He was not credible at all. He got up there like shoulders out, and
where did they find that guy?
He's going to prove he's right. And I'm thinking, where did this guy come from? He did not. Nothing he said made any sense when he was trying to explain why about her neck and the strength and the fracture of her neck, and he was just very. It was crazy. I couldn't understand anything. I thought he'd have been better. He didn't help them in any way. Let's put it that way.
And he was their main witness, as far as I know, according to Sleeper.
Yeah, it was an unjust situation for Matt, and thank God that it came out in his favor.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you, Connie. You could have been mean to me. Hey, maybe you might have saw something you didn't like about me and said, hey, we're just going to stick this guy in jail for the rest of his life. Who cares?
I don't judge a book by its cover.
What did you think? Because they tried to paint Matt out, like we now know it's not true, but they tried to paint Matt out to be some sort of mastermind, some criminal mastermind. Now, we've met him a few times now, and there's no way this guy's a mastermind of anything. Do you know what I mean? So, did that come across, or was it? Were you a bit like, what did you think of that? Him being called a criminal mastermind.
What I saw in Matt early on from things we learned in trial was that Matt and Emily met online, and they were both two broken souls that were mourning losses and that had lost a lot in life for their young age. And they came together to try to heal when they both suffered their own personal big losses in their life. So I didn't find a guy that was I think he was probably a guy that liked to go out and have fun, him and Emily, and try to forget their problems. That's what I saw in him.
Yeah. Did you know, I don't know if you know this about Matt, but I love this story about Matt, okay? So Diane got Matt. You see him when you watch the trial. He writes all these notes all the time. And what we found out was that not once did Diane even look at his notes. They were just trying to keep him busy. So we laugh that he's so busy making notes, and then Diane's not even looking at them. I think that's hilarious, But that kept him. Did you see him making these notes and stuff like that? What was your perception of him?
Yeah, I did see that, and I assumed she was looking at his notes. I didn't know she wasn't looking at his notes, but she also knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Ooh,
she was excellent.
She knew what
she didn't make one mistake.
She was an excellent attorney. And, even though she was a great attorney, Matt still didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't a
The
case
truth came
where,
out.
yeah, the truth all came out. And the judge, I probably shouldn't tell this, but after the deliberation, we were all back in the room.
Go ahead.
The jurors, the judge, and the attorneys came back to thank us for our time and told us what a tremendous job we did and how we were very attentive and did a great job. And the judge said, this should have never gone to trial. He said it.
That?
He said it.
I'm going to remember
and
that.
I'm not the only
That's a
one
good
that
one.
heard it. He said it to all of us sitting there.
You could tell. I thought he was going to throw it out with that Rule 29. I really did. I was like, this guy's going to throw it out. I can tell. And then he's just like, you know what? We're going to let this go to jury. I was like, oh.
Do you know what, though? I think that's good, though, Matt, because I think
Yeah,
he knew.
so do I. Now. Yeah.
Because if he'd have done that, everyone that hates on you would be like, see, the jurors didn't get a chance. It's fake. This judge should be sacked. He should be retired. But now it's gone to 12 of your peers, and they decided in like 10 minutes you're not guilty. So it's the best thing.
He believed in him.
I think, yes, he believed in jurors, and I believe that with my whole heart. He saw the selection process, he saw Connie, and he saw all the others, and went, no, these guys have got it. These guys have got it. So he trusted the jury.
They were asking the right
opinion.
questions. They were paying attention. Everybody was paying attention, and they were asking the right kind of questions. Yeah, he probably knew what was going to happen. That's neat, Connie. Thank you for sharing that with me. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Because that judge's opinion means a lot to me. Because you weren't there for this part. They were arguing the Rule 29. You weren't there. The jury wasn't there. And Schiffel goes, she goes, Your Honor, after she's talking about it for a while, and her argument's like fizzling out. It's fizzling. And she looks at she goes, Your Honor, this case is largely circumstantial. And he goes, yeah, I agree with you on that. You have to. That was just the way he said it. It was just like he was making fun of him. He's like, your case doesn't have any. There's nothing here.
No. Nope.
So he was a fair man. He was a good man.
He was a good man, and again, I go back to
look. Wait, he let that sleeper guy storm out of court, and he's just like, hey, he let it. He wasn't like a mean guy.
Yeah.
He probably could have threw sleeper in jail. Who knows for that?
There was a lot of wasted tax dollars, and a lot of people got richer on that, and a lot of people got poor, and a lot of bad luck for certain ones. And good luck at the end, though, Matt. You got, things turned around for you.
Yeah, it did.
If they would have offered me like a lawyer for like, if they said, listen, they don't have any evidence. They really don't have a case. Here, just pay this guy over here, this lawyer over here, he's kind of a young guy. He's going to be a third of what Diane's going to charge you, or maybe even less, like a tenth. You know what I mean? Or you can spend the money on the big dog here and guarantee you're going to, what would you do? Of course you're going to pay her, right?
Exactly.
You're not going to take the chance. I would have paid her anything she wanted.
Well, yeah, your life was on the line. Absolutely.
Money means nothing in that situation. It really doesn't. You just want to get out of there. It doesn't. You have everything I got. Just take it. Get me out of here.
To spend in jail 14 months awaiting trial.
Yeah, it was 13 months awaiting trial and 15 months waiting to get arrested, and then it was 15 months in jail. Yeah.
Now, the when they came to arrest you, that looked like something that they were coming in to arrest a mafia, a cartel. They came in like guns a-blazing, and it was the overkill for sure.
They spent a lot of money. They're not worried about the budget in Westerville. They just spend money there. They don't care. They've got plenty of dough.
Well,
there's a that was a bit overcut. Like I said in my book, I said, you guys could have just called me. I just would have came down.
Oh yeah.
I've been sitting here for 13 months waiting for my death certificate. I'm not going
Here's
anywhere.
the thing: whenever social media is negative about you, Matt, and you've got the thick shoulders to live through all this and hear all the crap. Here's my take on this, and I hope people think about this. If you went to trial and were found not guilty, and you really were guilty and you got off, wouldn't you just take off with your tail between your legs and go?
I would think.
And just
thank God later.
Thank God and forget
Later.
it and
Go to
not bring
Alaska.
up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you are vocal and you want your name back, and you know that it was so unfair, and you're not going away. And that to me certainly reiterates the fact that you are a not guilty man.
Thank you, Connie. It means a lot.
You're welcome.
It means a lot when people know that I'm innocent. I mean, I'm innocent. Connie.
Yeah.
It's really nice to have people out there that really know. That really, really know.
It means the world to you, and that's what's important. People like Connie that have seen the whole evidence, and they're saying, the jury, your peers have said you're not guilty, Matt. So who cares what everyone else? I know it's easy enough to say who cares, but the important people have spoken. What? I was just to ask you a question. Oh, so go ahead, Connie. Go ahead.
One thing I want to say too, though, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't have gone to trial. Matt wouldn't have served 14 months in jail. He wouldn't have waited over a year to be arrested. If that detective would have gone down and found her body.
Did you hear what he said on Dateline? He said they asked him if you would have found her those first couple days, would there have been evidence? He was like, yeah, we would have had. There would have been bruising on her neck, on her face. So basically, he's saying because they didn't find her when they should have found her, all the evidence that would have been there isn't there, and that's all right with that man to say something like that. It's like because we screwed up and missed her, all the evidence that would have convicted this guy isn't there anymore. Or maybe it just wasn't there to begin with, Grubbs. You dummy,
exactly.
Right?
And when you wait, how many months went by before the girls found her, and she was, a skeleton? If Detective Grubbs would have gone down into that ravine where we went on our first day, they sent us over there. By the way, we rode a bus.
There would have been no case.
There would not have been a case.
It would have been over in a day.
Absolutely would not have been a case, and it had been over.
His incompetence cost me my mother's inheritance.
Exactly.
My house. I'm not. Yeah. I have my freedom. My kids are gone. Emily's gone. But none of that crap would have happened on top of that.
He cuts off sometimes, but he'll be back, Connie. I got one question for you, because it's unusual for me to see this, but you were allowed to ask questions, written questions. But that was unique. That doesn't happen everywhere. So I like it. What do you think of it?
I thought of course, I had nothing to compare it to. I'd never been a juror in my life.
Yeah.
And I know, ask me medical questions. I'm there. Ask me something about authors. I love to read and I'm a writer. But to be a juror, I had very little experience in law. So, I didn't even know in the beginning if that was a normal thing or if all jurors are allowed to ask questions. I know I watch a lot of TV and it doesn't happen on the cop shows, but I later found out that is unusual. And I guess that was something the judge approved and allowed, but I thought it was very interesting, and I liked the opportunity that we could ask questions and get more thorough answers to things as the trial went on and witnesses were up there and things that were said and things we saw. We could get clarification by writing a question down, and of course they went, what's it called when they go over off away from us? See, when they
Yeah, it
went
is
over the
fine.
questions.
Sidebar, yeah.
Yeah, sidebar. And, decided which ones, they were going to approve to ask and follow and answered. So, yeah, I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah. So did you obviously, I imagine you said, you're quite bright, you want to ask for everything. I bet you asked lots of questions. Not of everything, but I imagine you did ask questions. But I also imagine some others didn't ask any questions. Or am I wrong there? Did everyone ask questions, or was it typically just yourself and a few others?
Oh, there were a lot of questions. They'd come over and collect our paper we wrote the question down on, and there were usually 5 to 8 questions asked
Yeah.
that went to the judge and the
Yeah,
prosecuting and
good.
defense team to look at. Now, not all 8 maybe were, or some could have been repetitive. 2 jurors may have asked the same question. So, but yeah, there was a lot of people that took advantage of that and asked questions. We stayed attuned to what was going on, and we were listeners, and I think we did a good job.
Yeah, well, evidently you all came to not guilty, and I'm not just saying that because I like Matt and stuff, but when you've got everyone going not guilty, that's I think that says a lot. Um, and I imagine if we spoke to every juror, they'd probably all have the similar story to you as well, which I think is the right way to do it. You approached it the right way, it seems anyway. Um, so in sense of the questions, put that to aside. One of the things that always intrigued me, right, and I've never been a juror, but because we got you, and I'm not going to keep you much longer, Connie. I know you've been gracious to us lots of time, but what happens in the back? As in, they send you out. What do you do? What did you speak about? What? Because you're not allowed to speak about the case, but how do you correspond with other people in the jury? Because it must be like you just want to grab someone and start speaking about it or something. So, what was that like?
Um, well, when we went to deliberation, you'd have thought we'd all just been all of us talking at once, because through all the days of listening to all the testimony, we're not allowed to share. We go to break, we go to lunch. We're not allowed to discuss what we're thinking, our opinions of a certain witness that particular day, or we were not allowed to
Yeah.
discuss anything. So I could not wait personally to get to deliberation, because the night, I went to bed the night before thinking, oh, I hope these jurors see this the way I do, because I couldn't stand the thought of this innocent man going to prison for life. But I had no clue what they were thinking. So it was interesting when we finally got to deliberation and we went around the table and everyone said not guilty. And then we were able to talk about it. I mean, I talked on the phone to a couple of them after it was all over, and we shared our views, and it was interesting. And
Yeah.
most of us a lot of them felt like me. I can't answer for all of them. All
No.
I know is they all said not guilty.
And are you in touch with? Well, you said you spoke to some of them. Are you in touch with some of them still,
Yeah,
or has it just?
yes, I talked to a couple of them. Um, but not a lot of them. I mean, I do talk to a few of them, yes.
But what was the makeup of it though? How many men against women? Not against, but how many men were on there and women were on there?
Oh my.
Rough,
Um,
roughly, if you remember,
I
because you
think it
don't get
was
to see
about,
that.
I think it was about, with, I can't remember, but I'm gonna guess, and I had the list, you can go online and find it. Probably about 50% of men, 50% women.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the various ages.
it's good. Different experiences. I like that there's a variety because I'm sure the backgrounds of you all were different as well.
Oh,
That's good.
absolutely.
Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yep. Actually, when we go into break room, because we cannot talk about the case, we go to,
Yeah,
many times we'd stay in for lunch just because of the news frenzy. We just, we talked about our personal lives. We shared photos of our children, our grandchildren. We talked about our jobs. So we did get to know each other on a personal level through it
Good.
all.
Good. That's good though, I think.
Yeah,
Because you got that kind of because it's a tough task what you got to do, and I respect what you did because you've all got to come together. So the fact that you've got some sort of bond, a little bit about each other before
yeah.
deliberations is good. In my opinion.
I felt honored to be a juror and to make a difference because we really did make a difference for Matt.
Yeah.
Um, I don't. Someone asked me, "Would you like to be a juror again?" And my answer's certainly not that kind of trial.
Yeah.
Let me go on a DUI or a
Yeah.
something, something like that. But a trial like that, it was very stressful.
And I can imagine. Can you imagine some of the trials that people have to do with death penalties? You know, that's I can't imagine the pressure you would be under if there was a death penalty attached as well. So I respect, but I will say about you. You say that we need more people like you with your attitude. It's healthy to hear what you got to say because you wouldn't believe how many people believe that it's guilty until innocent. Out there, it's diabolical to be quite honest with you. I'm shocked with it. So it's really refreshing to hear not just you but the other jurors how you all approached it and you know gave Matt a fair chance because it only takes one person to be stubborn. And
Mhm.
but it seems like you all read the case for what it was and it was a not guilty.
Ab-
Um, in terms of I'll finish off with you now because I know you got to go as well, so I don't want to hold you. But is there anything else you want to say about the trial or anything that we've not covered here today, or anything to get off your chest? By all means, do so.
Um, I can't think of anything. This has been so long ago too. Been
Yeah,
great if we'd had this interview a day after this all. It's been over
yeah,
a year now,
while yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
there was so much evidence in that courtroom and so many notes that were taken. And sadly, we weren't allowed to take our notes home with us; they were destroyed. It'd been nice to have gone over all my notes
yeah,
of
yeah,
everything that I wrote, but all I can say is we all need to believe in the court system. And even though sometimes things look really bleak, um, we
yeah.
go forth and hope for the best. And sadly, they don't always get it right, but it was an honor to be a juror in a case that did make a difference. So,
Yeah. And one final question for you. Just with like Matt's book here. Have you read Matt's book?
oh, I read it. I was probably one of the first to buy it. Yeah, I read
Yeah.
it. I read it. Yes, it was a
Good.
good
We
book,
promote
and
Matt.
he really brings his feelings out, and it's from the things he wrote and that I know from the courtroom. It's all accurate.
So he's now got the paper, the hard book out. So I bought it. I got it basically 2 days. So when I got it, I messaged him and said, "Hey, I got it." And he was like, "Oh, send me some pictures," because he hadn't got the book himself. But he forgot to put the numbers in, so he's got no numbers in the book. So he done everything perfect except he's got no numbers, but he doesn't care now. So we try
Yeah.
and promote him. Just give it. He's not here, so it's easy for me to speak now because he's a man that I find that is down to earth, doesn't want anything. He's like there's a case that we follow for a guy called Zachariah Anderson, and I tried to do some fundraising. He's currently in prison. In my opinion, he should not be in prison because there was no evidence similar to Matt. But it is, so Matt just said, "Don't give me any money, give it all to Zachariah because I'm
Oh,
free. I've got my freedom." Put it towards his appeal. So
that's
Matt was like,
nice.
"Yeah, he's got a car," he said, "and a roof over his head. That's all he's got."
That's very
So
admirable, and I wish that Jeremiah the best too. Is
yeah,
that what you said? His
yeah,
name's Jeremiah.
Zachariah,
Oh, Zachariah.
Zachariah.
I wish him the
Yeah,
best
yeah,
because
yeah.
that's a
Thank you,
hard
Connie.
place to be when you know you're in.
Yeah,
Well, I guess I will let you go. I don't know where Matt disappeared to, but he's probably
he's
on some
gone.
important phone
He'll be
call, or
back.
maybe he's signing a book. God love him.
Maybe. maybe.
Yeah.
But I just want to say thank you so much, Connie. I
Oh,
really do
you're
appreciate
welcome.
you.
Thank
And we've got everyone's here. You're a remarkable woman. Thanks for what you did for America, people say. So honestly, thank you for your time. And I
thank
wish you
you.
nothing but luck. Nothing but luck. And enjoy those grandkids and everything now.
All right. Thank you.
Go
Have a
spoil them.
great day.
Take care. And you take
Bye-bye.
care. Ta-ra.
Bye.
Ta-ra. So thanks to Connie there. I'll take these off for a second. Oh, Connie's still back. She'll be going in a second now. She's gone. Right. Um, so we had some tech issues, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. I had lots more questions, but I didn't want to pry too much, with Connie. But hopefully that gives you a bit of insight. I think it's interesting that they all had not guilty from the start, within the first 10 minutes, and that they decided to, sleep on it because literally they were ready to come back as a not guilty. Um, you know, can you imagine going back 10 minutes in and just going, do you know what I mean? Yeah, just, but they were professional enough, and I like that. Even if you think it's not guilty, the fact that they went back home and slept on it, I think that's admirable. Admirable. So sorry that I might have ignored some of you. I was trying to start some of your questions. Um, I try to cover the questions. I've ignored a lot of you. Sorry, I'm trying to go through some of these now. Um, Hi Hannah, hi Perry, hi Carol, hi Just Jurors, hi Nunya, hi Lou's Gone, hi Josie, hi Sarah P, hi Sarah Glenn. Sarah, I didn't ask this question, right? Sarah, I didn't ask this question because we're going to watch him. So I imagine he'll say it on screen. So, and I don't think they'd remember, to be quite honest with you. Nunez here. Katie, hello, Katie. Oh, the wows were when the judge said that they should never gone to trial. That was a boom moment, a mic drop, wasn't it? Yeah, so welcome everybody else. I know that we got a new subscriber as well. So thank you for subscribing. I like the quote from Connie. Hi, Erin. Sorry, I missed that. Erin Hack. Taco, taco, taco time. Hi, Erin. Thank you, Connie. That was fun. I mean, at one point, Josie was like, it was like, chop it off. Bing, 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 bing. I was like, oh no, what's going on? Uh, is Matt talking to us? He'll be back. He'll be back. His internet must be down. Does he? No, we can't see him. No, he's not. He's not here yet. I'll message him now. In the Dateline episode, one juror said she was a guilty. Oh, I don't know then. I can't say. I don't know. Um, Obviously, maybe she I don't know then. I don't know. Obviously, I can only go by what she said. But hi everyone. Hi Jan. Hi Jan. Um, yeah, that was interesting to learn from the judge. Yes. Hi Jan. You did great with that. I did my best, guys. Honestly, I love it. They're not criminal minds. Do you know what I mean? So, I loved it. But do you know what? What I'd say is one thing people can't say about this channel is that we're not authentic. You know, I'm sure other places would not have tech issues. We do. So we just roll with the punches. So that was totally whatever. I spoke to the both of them before we got on. Great, great people. Um, so I mean, Matt should be back. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but um, yeah, but thank you. I mean, there's lots more I could have asked. I could have been here for hours asking him more questions, but I want to make sure you guys had your questions. Matt had questions. She wanted to say some stuff as well, and I didn't want to keep her more than an hour. She was very nervous to come on today because she has received a lot of hate online, so she was very nervous. Matt said so. I don't want to push her too much about some of the questions. But I loved your questions as well, guys. Thank you, Just Jurors. You asked some good questions. Hi, Sandra. Connie, you indeed one of those people. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. Yes, you'd have to watch the Dateline episode, though. I was a bit angry at them at there telling the story. Yeah, I will watch it. I'll watch it afterwards. We'll put in Discord or something. Um, but yeah, that's unusual that someone said that he would have gone guilty when Connie says they all said not guilty. But hey, do you know what? It doesn't matter. Um, I said the same as Connie. A guilty man wouldn't be talking. He would run and hide. I watched the whole trial. Encourage everyone to watch it. He's absolutely innocent. Yes, I encourage everyone to watch it as well because we do it differently here. This is more math time. And just in case people think, where's everyone else? Sally is ill, but she might join us. But she's suffering illness at the minute. Dr. Himes, he said he'd join us. Well, he should be here now, but he's running a bit late. But it's fine. And yeah, I've not. I need to find the bloody trial first. Where is this trial? Also, thank you everyone in Rumble. Thank you for being in Rumble as well. I appreciate you all being there. I've got 6 people watching in Rumble, so thank you, people of Rumble. No one's chatting, but just in case, people of Rumble, I cannot put your chats up, but you're not chatting anyway, so it doesn't matter. She changed her vote, of course, but I'm curious what made her change her mind. She was like, oh, okay. They clearly changed their mind. Yes, ultimately, Chris. Hi, Chris. Sorry. Apologies, right, to everybody if I've missed you or I've not given you a shout out. You know I don't like. Also, I don't like star streams without shout outs. But I had to because Connie, I wasn't going to let Connie sit here for 45 minutes whilst I went through everyone's chats. Um, so apologies for that, guys. Right, let's find this trial now then. You were late jumping on. That's all good. It's all. I did see you jump on as well. I did see it. Let's go here. Mathew or trial day 2. We're on, isn't it? Afternoon. Everybody. Oh, it's right. It's ended up there. Then I will see if Matt is around. Hang on then. Judge is there. Got that there. Pause it. All right. See the life of a streamer. That's fine. Thank you, Nania. Thank you. Yeah, just in case some people, Jesus, we just lost literally half our viewers. If people were here for don't worry, Matt's coming back, guys. He is coming back. I'll message him now. Matt, I'm losing half my bloody viewers. Come back. Tech issues. Come back on. Mate. Right. So I've messaged him. Right, I need to get out of that one. So I watched the Talk with Sally. Yeah, he was on with Talk with Sally last night. Yeah, I don't watch it. I'll watch it at some other point. I've skimmed through it, give a like, but it's hard because I do want to ask Matt the same questions, so that's why I don't tend to watch it. Right. Well, we got a couple of minutes here. Let's see if Matt comes back on. We might even split this today. Yeah. So he's also on. Meet. Mighty Meet, is it? In next week as well. So I don't know who might. I know some of you support Mike Demeter, so I'll give him a shout out for that. But that's the only shout that I will give on it. And I know Sally's trying to get some of the bigger streamers to stream, like Legal Vices, Rakita, stuff like that. There's no pressure on her, but she's trying to get them to stream with Matt as well to give an interview. Where, as much as I love you guys, and I'm sure you love me, we're not going to have as much of a reach, So hopefully they can give him an interview as well. It'd be class for him to get that. We need some big streamers like that. Right. Let me present this. I mean, hang on, cancel. Let me just have a look here. It's about 4 hours worth. So I don't know. I'm not sure if we're going to make it how late we're going to take this tonight. Might cut it into two. Depends how much time we got to ask questions and stuff like that. All right. So yeah, we got Dr. Heinz to come in. Sally said she was coming. Solomon, he's been invited, but he hasn't turned up yet. But he's more of a if you can jump on. So he's asked for a link every week, but I'm not gonna expect him to come on at any time. No worries, Katie. That's fine. You lurk away to get a story out there. Yes, and it's like you're only gonna get that through Vices and Rakita basically. So those are the ones we're trying to target. But Sally's friendly with all of them, so um, that's the whole plan is to get Sally to do it. Hopefully, Dr. Hines will do it, and then get one of the bigger ones to do it, or however will they work it out. Share screen. I don't really want to start this without Matt, but because we're here for Matt, basically. I think the problem is he hasn't got internet. I think that's the problem. He's not got internet is the problem, I think. So no, or he's gone for a coffee and then coming back. But he's super excited for today, so I don't know what's going on. Well, before we start anything, anyway, Sarah P's been busy today, and I missed it all at the start because I want to start quickly. Welcome everyone. So thanks, Sarah P. Right, so welcome everyone. I need to do this. Hang on. I'll promote us a little bit then. Hang on, let me get my analytics up to see how many people have liked it. Oh, thank you. Someone just liked it now. Thank you very much. Yes, please welcome everyone and thanks for joining. Please hit the like button, subscribe on YouTube, and um, press the notification bell and press all is what you should do. So join the alternate corner community. Please do. You can be a Taco Club member or a Blue Wench member. You get access to Discord, and this Friday we're doing our members only stream. That's going to happen at 11. No, is it 10 o'clock Eastern time on Friday if the other trial's finished? So if you're a Taco member, which I think is $3, or a Blue Wench, which I think is $5, then please join. I'll try to make it affordable for people. Obviously, if you can afford it, please be a Blue Wench. But if you can't afford it, that's absolutely fine. Please be a Taco. So an airing Taco, basically. So there you are. You got access to this Friday's members only stream. So all the math stuff is all in the bottom as well, but all the maths links are here. If you'd like to support Matt, he's got a Cash App and also GoFundMe account where he's absolutely skint, so hopefully people can support him. Dr. Hines and Sally, his links are there. Sally's links, and again, they're all down the bottom. If you'd like to support Sally, her Cash App and accounts there. Dr. Hines' Cash App is there. If you'd like to support Sally there. Support the Alternate Corner. Yes, my PayPal is Stream Elements tip, and check out the merch store. Yes, my merch store is there. Please consider. I think. Oh, Erin, how's the merch going? Josie, how's the merch? I think that you both like the merch. Get a shirt and help Zach. So this takes you straight to the Zachariah shirt, and yeah, $10 or £10, wherever it is, go straight to go send go stuff for Zachariah. I got 2 Twitter accounts now, one for myself to tell people to fuck off, and one professional one, which is the Alternate Corner one. That is twitter.com/Happy Days Dylan, and it's called the Alternate Corner. Subscribe to the new podcast coming soon about Zach's wrongful conviction. It's called The Wrongful Pod, which Josie is a part of. So she can say a lot more about that. But yeah, please subscribe to that on YouTube, and please listen to that. I think there's going to be an episode coming out before long. Happy to sell his book. Help him sell his book to, yes, the potato and the WH needs to stop spending our tax dollars. Sorry, just pissed me off. All good. I'm not sure what the all good is for, Erin, but thank you for the all good, whatever that means. Yeah, what does that mean to fuck off? Well, I just thought it was a bit inappropriate that I'm promoting my channel. Thank you, Erin. Inappropriate for my channel page to tell people that, and then sort of try to promote my channel. So we got another one. The merch, Happy Days. I hope it is generally going okay for you, Erin. Because if it's not, let me know, guys, because it doesn't cost me anything, so I can just pull it out. Do you know what I mean? Not, I mean, pull the merch off, not pull it out. So yeah, right. And whoever that was that joined us as a subscriber, thank you very much. I am looking here. I'm stalling. Can you hear me stalling? Tyler Griffin, welcome, Tyler. Thank you for joining us. And Stream Elements, thank you for doing that as well. So, yeah. So the merch is going well, Erin said. So there we are. So right, okay, we'll start it. I don't really want to start without these guys. That's the only problem. I'm trying to avoid it, but don't think I can avoid it. Do you know what I mean? We've got to start it, don't we? You're here for the trial. You're not here to listen to me talk crap. So Rumble's gone. No, we're not here for you, mate. So just so you remember, tomorrow we're doing the bathtub murder. So we'll have that tomorrow. Day 5 and day 6. We'll play it all tomorrow. So don't worry if you think you're missing that today. Or if you are watching it today, that's fine. Just don't tell us the results. We'll watch it tomorrow. And then there should be a verdict tomorrow. And then Friday, I got a Happy Day stream, which it'll probably be a couple of hours. We're doing it at what are we doing it as? 10 o'clock Eastern. And 10 o'clock Eastern, which is then 3 o'clock UK time, 4 o'clock European time. Tyler Griffin, they can just join whenever it's fine to me. I know, it's just more of I was hoping that they would, especially Matt. Let me check Matt again. Obviously we're here for Matt more than anything. Yeah, he's lost internet. He will join when he can join. All right, we'll start it, guys, but Here we go. Here we go. Dark out. It's like 5:30 here. And it's dark now. And everyone else that's here, just say hello and chat. All good. I'm sorry for not. Oh, it's all good. I was up early as well, taking my kids and my nieces to school.
Statement call. The next witness.
They call Lieutenant Alloway.
Oh. Oh, she got blue hair in the back there, isn't she? The blue hair there. But it was nice to hear from Connie though, I think, just in the sense of what she was saying about we need to cover this, sorry. About what she was saying about experiences and stuff. I enjoy stuff like that. I like to hear stuff from people. It's nice that she's still in touch with some of them as well. And basically, yeah, it's 3 hours max. They deliberated for. That's good to know. That's good to know that there's some sensible people out there. Right, blue-haired woman, what are we doing? And also, how amazing is that? Exclusive. The judge said it should never come to trial. That's an exclusive. You heard it here first, guys. That's amazing. I love that. Breaking news. Love it. I'll try and shut up.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this case should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You please state your name for the record
Yes, it's Lieutenant Justin Alloway,
and spell your last name, please.
Alloway.
And what is your current occupation, sir?
I am the Detective Lieutenant at the Westerville Division of Police.
And what does that mean?
I am in charge of the Westerville Detective Bureau, overseeing the day-to-day operations and the long-term operations of the Bureau.
And how long have you been the detective lieutenant?
Approximately a year and a half at this point.
Did you have law enforcement experience prior to that?
Yes, sir. I am in my 22nd year of law enforcement at this point.
Okay. Can you tell us how you got started in law enforcement?
I can. I attended the Ohio State Highway Patrol Academy for my basic training back in 2000. From there, I spent about 5 years as a patrol officer, working the street, answering calls for service. From there, I went in as a school resource officer for about 4 years. And then I was promoted in 2009. We had corporals at the time. I worked as a corporal for about 10 years before I was moved into the Detective Bureau as a sergeant.
And so all of your law enforcement experience, about 22 years, all of Westerville?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I want to take you back to May 25th of 2020. What was your rank at that time?
At that point, I was assigned as the sergeant in the Detective Bureau.
And so what did a detective sergeant do with that?
I was tasked with reviewing all of the reports that came in on a daily basis, determining whether those cases would be closed out or whether we were going to assign those to detectives for further investigation.
And so what does that process look like? Walk the jury through how you look at a case and decide if a detective's going to.
Absolutely.
Oh, sure.
So every case that we have that comes in on our computer. We read through that case, determine what the probability is that we can solve that case. A lot of different factors that are associated with it, whether there's been a suspect identified, whether we believe we can identify one or not, and then make that decision whether we're going to pass that on to a detective.
Does the Detective Bureau jump into every single traffic stop or law enforcement interaction that the patrol officers have?
No. While we'll read through every report, we will not assign every one of those cases.
How do you get those reports? Is there some sort of daily briefing or some sort of summary sheet? What do you get that you're looking at?
We do have a briefing sheet that is sent out to our division that gives a basic overview of what had happened the day before, as well as on our computer system, our records management system. We have a list of all the reports that have been unassigned and that are still open that we can review.
And so is that, at the time as a detective sergeant, is that generally how your day started, reviewing reports and seeing what needed to go to a detective?
Yes, it is.
Well, I turn your attention to May 26th of 2020. Were you on duty as a detective sergeant on that day?
Yes, I was.
And did you review that summary or briefing sheet of the prior day's law enforcement interactions?
I did, but I had actually been approached by Detective Grubbs prior to me reviewing the cases that he had seen a case that he had interest in.
And what was that case specifically?
That was a missing persons report reporting that Emily Noble had been missing.
And so that was based on the interaction that the patrol had the day before.
That is correct.
So now Sergeant Hollis, who had been dispatched out to the scene, you were aware of those general facts and information at the time then when you're looking to assign a detective?
That is correct.
Do you assign a detective to every single missing person report?
Eventually we will. A lot of times we'll have missing kids that are runaways that they honestly just don't want to be found. And so we'll take a little bit more time before we get to those, or people that are just running away for whatever reason we don't know. But no, not everyone gets the attention immediately.
This one did get, well, Detective Grubbs, you said had expressed interest in it. Did you review the initial information on the case?
Yes, I did.
And did you determine that a detective should be assigned?
Yes.
And did you assign Detective Grubbs as the lead investigator?
Yes, I did.
So Grubbs was interested in it. He'd be interested in it. That's intriguing. So he'd pinpointed he wanted to take on this case. He'd read the case and wanted it. Why would he want this case? Because there's nothing in it. Unless he just thought that Matt was guilty from the off and just thought, well, I got a suspect. Missing person, got a suspect. Done deal. It's a nice and easy one. Maybe, I don't know. Speculation, but I don't know. Why would you want this case? I'm not sure I'd want this case of missing person.
Did you have at that time a general understanding of what had occurred with the initial patrol response?
Yes, I did. I'd read the initial report and had a general understanding of it.
And what was that general understanding?
Just that a 52-year-old female had gone missing from her home. There wasn't any other type of extenuating circumstances, no notes left that she was going to leave or harm herself, and that it just seemed strange to the patrol officers.
And were you aware about the location of Emily Noble's belongings, those types of things?
Yes, I was. I was told that her wallet, phone, and keys were left at the residence.
And were those all factors you considered in your decision to assign a detective to investigate?
Yes, they were.
To your knowledge, as of May 26th, had there been any, again, we're talking the morning of May 26th, right, as you're assigning the case, had any areas been searched at that time?
Yes, I had been told that the patrol officers had searched the immediate area around the residence.
And as of that time, Emily was not located.
That is correct.
When you assign a case to a detective, is that detective then responsible, or is that, let me back up. Is that detective going to conduct the entire investigation by themselves?
It depends on the case. Any larger cases, they are kind of responsible for the overall delegation of tasks that need to be completed during that investigation.
And so Detective Grubbs was appointed as the lead investigator?
He was.
And did you periodically interact with Detective Grubbs about how the investigation was going, stay involved, that kind of thing?
Yes, I did.
I want to talk first about initial. Let me put up the map here. Lieutenant, can you see that okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Can you tell us, for the record, this is Defendant's Exhibit D up on the overhead. Can you tell us generally what it is we're looking at here?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the neighborhood to the northeast of the intersection of state and county line.
Is that neighborhood the neighborhood where Emily Noble lived?
Yes.
Did you have any knowledge generally of the area that had been looked at the previous day?
Yes, I did.
And where was that?
I was told that the officers had searched along the wooded area along the bike path that runs north and south on the rightmost part of the.
And you can actually draw right on the screen by touching that if you want.
Right in this area.
Okay. Did you discuss with Detective Grubbs what the kind of first steps of his investigation were going to be?
Yes, I did.
And what was that, sir?
The initial task that we wanted Detective Grubbs to complete was to go out and talk to Mr. Moore to gather more information and see if there had been any updates from the previous day to the next morning.
Is there a phrase you use to describe that kind of law enforcement interaction?
Sure. In law enforcement, we call it a knock and talk. Basically, we're going to knock on the door and just talk to somebody.
And
and
to your
talk.
knowledge, did Detective Grubbs go out to do that knock and talk with Mr. Moore?
Knock and
Yes,
run.
he did.
Were you involved in setting up anything with the investigation there on May 26th?
Yes, I was. Due to the nature of the missing, we wanted to get a bloodhound involved in the case as quickly as possible to see if Emily might have walked off someplace. So we contacted actually the Delaware County Sheriff's Office to begin with because I knew that they had a bloodhound in the past. From there, we were referred to the Crawford County Sheriff's Office, who did have a bloodhound, who sent their dog down to help us.
And what was the idea of getting a bloodhound involved?
A bloodhound is typically able to track someone based on the scent of that person. So we wanted to see if Emily maybe left the condo and walked in a certain direction that would lead our searches to a certain direction.
Were you able to locate a canine bloodhound from Crawford County?
Yes, they did respond to the scene.
And did you go out to the scene when that canine arrived?
Yes, I did. I accompanied them during the search.
Generally speaking, can you describe where you went as a result of that bloodhound?
Yes, we left out of the residence and worked to the east. May I mark on the exhibit?
Yeah,
here?
absolutely. Oh, let me clear all that off so we know where. Okay, go ahead.
We started at the residence here and came to the east. And we had two different dogs throughout the process that we'll talk about. I can't remember if the Crawford County Bloodhound came through here or around here, but came up this way and through these woods and stopped at that driveway there.
Looks like a. Is he drawing? Is he drawing balls? I thought he was drawing some testicles. Right, I'll leave this on. I'm gonna just put some lights on and stuff because it's quite dark. It's getting dark in here. Take off all your clothes, and you can all look at the balls on screen.
In addition to that, let me back up. Did you then search that area of the woods up north of the condo as a result of the bloodhound going that direction?
Yes, we did.
And was anything located?
Nothing was located there.
Were there other searches you also participated in on May 26th?
On the 26th, I don't believe that there were any others at that point.
Were there other searches conducted by other people you weren't personally involved in?
Yes, I was told of many that occurred.
Were you aware of any searches that were done by the Westerville Fire Department?
Yes, I am.
And where was that location that was being looked at?
They checked the area to the southeast of State and County line, down in this area. And also, you can't see on this map, but there's a wooded area to the northwest corner as well that they searched up in through here.
So more towards on either side of the intersection of State Street and County Line Road.
Correct.
Lieutenant, are you familiar with the location where Emily was ultimately found?
Yes, I am.
And he show us generally on the map where that was. Did the Westville Police Department have anybody specifically into that area of the woods on the May 25th or May 26th?
No, we did not.
I want to turn your attention to the next day, then May 27th. Did you receive other information about Emily Noble on that day?
We received information constantly. We had tips coming in all the time about this, and we did have a meeting about the case that morning.
Did you receive any kind of a call from a local dental office?
Yes, I did.
And what do you recall about that?
I'd received a call that morning from a dental office saying that Emily had a dentist appointment earlier that day. I believe it was supposed to be at 8 o'clock that she did not show up for.
You women with your dicks.
And the Westville Police Department obtained records from the dental office related to that.
Yes, we did.
What was sort of the next step in the investigation then at that point?
The next step we wanted to conduct was a search warrant at the residence because that was the last place that we knew Emily to be, and we wanted to make sure we could secure any evidence if there was any there.
And was a search warrant obtained to go and search the condo?
Yes, it was.
Is that a one officer kind of an event?
No, and when we have a search warrant of this nature, we have pretty much all of our detectives that are available. to assist with that.
And how is a plan put together for what to do and what kind of job duties are assigned?
Before we go out on the search warrant, we'll sit down, all of the detectives that are going to go out, and we will assign different tasks, whether it be taking photos, laying out room letters, or whether it's actually the search that they're involved in so they know what their duties are before they go out.
Were you aware of what Detective Grubb's plan was going to be during the execution of the search warrant?
Yes, I was.
And what was that, sir?
He and Detective Peachy were going to ask Mr. Moore to come back to the police station and discuss the circumstances.
Were other officers then going to remain on scene and conduct the actual search of the condo?
Yes, there were.
As the condo was searched, were there photographs taken of that
Yes.
location?
Yes, there were.
And were you on scene at the condo during the search warrant, or what was your role?
I was on scene during the search warrant. I did a quick walkthrough of the residence, but then my position was out front, just assisting with anything the officers needed as they went in and out.
On May 27th, was there also another canine that was involved?
Yes, there was.
And what canine was that?
That was a human remains detection dog that we requested. We have a trainer that we work with for our canines that he was familiar with a canine that had human remains detection ability in Cleveland, and we had asked for her to come down and participate in that search.
And do you know who that was?
Her name was Danielle Fate.
And when, if you recall, did she get to the scene?
I believe it was about an hour or so into the search warrant. She came down and met us.
And did you have a conversation with her?
Yes, I did.
And did she walk her dog around in a certain area?
Yes. I explained to her the general circumstances, and I asked for her to walk the dog through the residence as well as around the cars. And then there were some wooded areas that we would like for her to check.
Okay. And so did the dog check the cars in the area of the condo?
Yes.
Any indications of anything stand out at that point?
There were no alerts there.
Okay. Did you go with that canine for the other search areas?
Yes, I did.
And so can you tell us where you went with that canine?
Yes, we went east on County Line Road from Crossings, right through this area, right along the sidewalk, and then up the bike path. And she had the dog go up to the woods during this whole time, during this walk.
So you said along the sidewalk. Can you describe what that area looks like?
Yes, you've got the 4-lane County Line Road, then there a little grassy strip, the sidewalk, and then it goes directly into the wooded area.
And where was the dog deployed as you were standing there?
We actually walked from the residence down the county line, and we walked, and she began her search right in this area.
At any time as you walked with that dog, did the dog go into the woods?
No, the dog went up to the woods, but did not walk into the woods.
So along, it would be fair to describe that as along the tree line,
Yes,
in between the sidewalk and the tree line, but not actually into any of the woods.
that is correct.
And any alerts or anything during that process?
No, there were no alerts there.
After those initial searches in the first couple of days, what were you involved in next?
Next, we contacted a group called Texas EquiSearch. They are an organization based out of Texas, but they have chapters throughout the United States that have volunteers that are willing to come together to help search in missing person cases.
And who makes a decision to involve that type of organization?
I did.
And what is the purpose of getting someone like that involved?
Well, it allows them to conduct the searches for us. I met with their director, their regional director, Dave Rader, and he mentioned to us that he's trained his people that if they should find anything, to leave it alone and call us immediately. So that allowed them to do the searches while we focused on the other aspects of the investigation.
Did you meet with the chapter president?
Yes, I did.
What kind of information did you communicate to him at that time?
We just give him a basic understanding that we had a 52-year-old female that had walked away, presumably from her residence. And that's all the information we had at that point.
Were there, did you talk to them about what areas to be searched?
No, I really didn't need to. Dave was able to look at maps of the area based on his training and experience of searches that he has done in the past, and found areas that he wanted to have his team search just based on his knowledge in the past.
And at that time, were you under the misconception that somebody had been into all of the wooded areas that were nearest the condo?
Yes, I was.
And was that true?
No, it was not.
So where
How
did
deep?
Texas EquiSearch focus their efforts initially?
So they started a broader area. They worked out toward Alum Creek Park, Hoover Reservoir, even up Route 3. If they saw any areas that were like you could pull off your vehicle, they would look in all those different areas as well.
And did those searches continue then at the end of May?
Yes, they did.
Were those just manual searches or were there other things involved?
There were other things involved. Texas EquiSearch not only brought 25 to 30 volunteers with them, they also brought drones to look through the area and also sonar boats to be able to check any bodies of water in the area.
Did Texas EquiSearch, excuse me, is that a one-time thing or were they involved on multiple days?
No, we had multiple searches that they were involved in.
Were you aware of another search they conducted on June 7th?
Yes, I was.
And can you tell us a little bit about what you remember about that search?
I know that they conducted another one. That one, I believe, was primarily at the Alum Creek boat ramp area on Africa Road. They did countless searches for us all over the area, but unfortunately, we're not able to find anything.
How would you describe this area of Westerville and the community in general? Is there all residential or are there a lot of wooded and water areas in that?
I'll permit him to
something
answer the
else.
question. Go ahead.
So this area of Westville is fairly grown up with residences. However, just to our north is Genoa Township that has a lot of wooded area, and there are a lot of ponds in the area. Even in Westville, there are a lot of ponds that people don't realize near Bob Evans, near Chase Bank, all over the place.
So there were a lot of places where people were looking.
Absolutely.
Was there another canine that was brought in during the investigation?
Yes, there was. On, I believe it was June 5th, I had spoken to Dave Rader, and he expressed interest in bringing a second bloodhound into the search that he had good success with in the past. And she drove in from Alabama to help us with the search on June 7th.
And so, just so we're clear, we're talking again about a bloodhound, not a human remains detection dog.
Correct.
And where did, were you present when that canine was deployed?
Yes, I was.
And where was that?
We started right at the residence at 46 Abbey Cross.
And where did you go that time with the canine?
This was basically the same path of the other one.
So I'm back. Hang on. I'm cooking pizza. Here's my pizza. Pepperoni pizza. So that's why I'll be off screen once I'm eating it.
And again, I can't remember which one went between the buildings and which ones went around, but
Hey, Lou.
generally started here, came up through, and ended at this driveway again.
And anything
Oh.
located as a result of that search?
No, there was nothing located.
In addition to these searches, are you involved in other parts of the investigation?
Yes, I am.
Did you have contact with other law enforcement agencies?
Yes, I did.
And why'd you do that?
I was contacted by the chief from Shawnee Hills Police Department, who runs a search party in Delaware County. He expressed interest in bringing a sonar boat down to, again, check some of these water areas the ponds or lakes that we have to make sure nothing was located there.
And did that occur as well?
Yes, it did.
And again, anything come of any of those searches?
No, unfortunately, nothing was located.
Did you have contact with our law enforcement agencies about any unidentified remains, things of that nature?
Yes, we did.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Detective Grubbs had informed me that they had gone to Buckville, Ohio earlier in the day. So I
There's a lot. No, it's fine. There's a lot of football ones on there. UK football. Of series like if you're into stuff like that, then it's nuts. I mean, you got hooligans in every team. You got, if you're really into soccer, wow, it is huge. It is huge. I'm gonna have a bowl of sugar. Couldn't have coffee this morning, so getting my coffee on now. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I hate that happens in here. No bowl of sugar, bowl of chili. Back. Oh, that's fine, Hannah. No, we know that Nicholas is your number one. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not sure he appreciates that. Here we go.
started making some phone calls to
Back
the
to a
Athens County
pizza.
Sheriff's Office to see if any bodies were located down there. They said they had not, but other, I believe it was Perry County, did have an unidentified female that they knew about. So I made a phone call to them. However, that body had been found on April 27th, so it was unrelated to ours. And I basically called every sheriff's office between Columbus and that area.
And again, nothing came of any of that.
Nothing did.
At some point during the investigation, was there a neighborhood canvass conducted?
Yes, there was.
And did you participate in that yourself?
Yes, I did.
And what is that process of?
So what we did in that instance, Detective Grubbs and I went out to the Abbey Cross neighborhood, just knocked on all the doors in the area. We wanted to talk and ask if they knew anything about Emily, knew anything about Matt, and what they could share with us that might be able to help with our investigation.
Was there at some point in the investigation a press conference about Emily Noble being missing?
Yes, there was.
And can you tell us what kind of information was released and what that looked like?
Of course. In these instances, we just release basic information. We'll release a picture and the general circumstances that she went missing, the date and time that she left, to solicit any information that we can from the community if they had seen her.
And do you provide a way for the community to contact you about such a thing?
Yes, we do. I believe in this instance, we gave Detective Grubbs' phone number, but we also have a tip line in Westerville that they can either email or they can call into that phone number to provide anonymous information if they'd like.
And can you describe for the jury the volume of tips and things that would come into the tip line?
More than I've ever seen in my career. We had tips coming in all the time from people that thought they saw her in different states, people that saw her in what they thought was her in the city of Columbus, to psychics and mediums that wanted to give their input onto what had happened.
And did you participate in some of the follow-up on those tips and things that would come in?
I participated in the fact that I forwarded all of them to Detective Grubbs, and our direction was that we were going to follow up on every single one of them.
Any of those tips turn up any leads or anything else?
No, they did not.
The investigation continue into September of 2020?
Yes, it did.
And what do you remember about September 2020?
I remember during the day on September 16th, we received another tip that someone had located what they believed was a grave marker in the wooded area to just the west of the bike path. And Detective Grubbs, Detective Peachy, and I went out to check on that.
And where did you go into the woods that time?
So we entered the woods from the bike path area here, and approximately 100 yards in, we were able to find a small ceramic angel that was just sitting out in the open in the woods.
Did you notice anything around that area?
No, we didn't. We looked at the ground to see if it had looked like it was disturbed, but couldn't see anything that looked suspicious to us or out of the ordinary.
Can you describe for the jury what the woods look like as you enter them from the bike path?
So as you enter the woods from the bike path, they're actually surprisingly open when you get into the trees. You can see pretty far. And as you continue west, this area and through here is fairly open. And then as you get into about this area here, it almost hit like you hit a bunch of bushes and brush that you can't get through. So we checked that entire area east of that kind of barrier that was there.
And so for the record, you circled the area on the eastern edge of those woods?
That is correct.
And so between the eastern edge of those woods and a location where Emily's body is found is that large area of overgrowth that you were discussing?
That is correct.
Were you working on September 16th, 2020 later in the day?
Later that day, I was off approximately at 3 o'clock that day.
Did you receive a call later that evening?
Yes, I did. I received a phone call from Lieutenant Dickinson, who was one of our patrol lieutenants, saying that they had found a body in the woods, the same wooded area that we've been circled here.
What was it? The eastern edge of the woods off the bike path where you've been in before?
No, it was not.
Where was the body found?
Approximately in this area here.
On the other side of the overgrowth that you didn't go through when you entered from the east. Just make sure.
Just go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question.
It was on the west side. It was, if you were coming in from the east, you would not have been able to get to it. You would have to go around and come in from the south.
When you responded to the, I guess I haven't asked this yet. Did you respond to the scene?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And how did you go into the area where the remains were found?
So
Yeah, that's fine, Nunya. Say what you want to, Nunya. It's fine.
I came in, actually tried to make entry into the woods several places through here and had to ask one of the patrol officers how they actually got in to get down there because it was so overgrown.
Any kind of easy path or anything like that leading off the side?
No.
Down there.
There was not a path going through there at all. It was heavily overgrown. You had to move branches out of the way and kind of duck through. And then it dropped off pretty quickly, going downhill fairly steeply as well.
And where's that downhill grade?
Just as soon as you get into the tree line.
Who was at the scene when you responded?
We had several patrol officers there. Lieutenant Dickinson was there. Officer Pickert was there, as well as Officer Quinlan and Officer Hollyfield. Those two are no longer employed with us, though.
When you have a scene like that, what happens next?
In a scene like this, when I got there, I saw obviously a badly decomposed body. I made the decision at that point, we were going to obviously rope it off as a crime scene. We were keeping all the officers at a good distance away and keeping any of the public out at that point. Then I made the decision that we were going to call the Bureau of Criminal Investigation in to process that scene for us.
Is there something that's done to prevent people from coming and going from the location?
Yes, there is. We will put crime scene tape up to have an actual physical barrier so people can't cross.
And then is there any record kept of who's coming and going from that location?
Yes, there is. We'll have an officer that's assigned to keep a crime scene log, and they will note whoever is coming in and also the time they come in and the time they leave.
You indicated that BCI was going to be contacted. Can you explain to the jury what BCI is?
So BCI is the state investigations basically. They have a crime scene unit that all they do every day is process crime scenes. So they are experts at it.
And so how do you get in touch with BCI if you're asking for them to be dispatched?
We'll contact their dispatch center and notify them of what we have, what the request is, and then they will dispatch their investigators.
Generally speaking, what will BCI's role then be at the scene?
So BCI will usually photograph the scene. They will collect any physical evidence that is there, and they will provide that evidence to us before they leave the scene.
Anybody else that you contact when you come across a dead body?
Yes. In this instance, we contacted the Delaware County Coroner's Office.
And what's the purpose of contacting the Delaware County Coroner's Office?
The Delaware County Coroner's Office is going to be responsible for determining the cause and manner of death.
And how do you contact the Coroner's Office?
So we contact the Delaware County Sheriff's Office, who will then.
Right, everyone. We got one of the guests back in. He's not the main man. It's not me. I'm not the main man here. You know that. It's not Matt. He's not. This guy's out camping at the minute. He's out camping, but he's joining us. He might not be able to stay all along because fair play, he's not bad. But your favourite YouTube streamer is here. His name is Dr. Hines. Whoop whoop.
Oh
Let's
my
go,
God.
Dr. Hines.
Yeah.
How we doing, sir? How we doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you for the great. Gosh, you make me blush every single time. If I was white, my face would be red entirely right now. But obviously, you can't see that because there's something.
No.
Oh Lord, I think we're connected. But yeah, I hope everyone is well. I'm happy to be back. What did I miss? Like, I didn't miss Juror, did I?
Yeah, you missed Connie.
Hello?
Yeah, you missed Connie. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
hello?
Can you hear me? Hello, Dr. Hines.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you
I
see
can
me?
hear you. Can you hear us? Yeah, I can see you. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear us? So we had Connie on for about an hour. Then we've had here they go. We've had Matt having internet problems.
Did I miss the Juror?
Yes, you missed a juror. You missed
Oh,
Connie. Yes.
okay.
So she was great, but she was nervous. She only could give us an hour, which is fine. And Matt's not come back.
Oh,
We lost Matt. We lost. So hopefully he comes back. Um, but yeah, we got you now. So it's a little hard one for me. So everyone's like, "Hello, Dr. Hines,
okay.
coming in with a hot mic."
Well,
Hot mic, Dr.
oh,
Hines.
that's
What's up, Doc?
that's so sad. I was looking forward to seeing. Oh gosh, I'll try and turn down my mic. Sorry. I
Sorry,
was
it's
looking
not
forward
too.
to seeing a juror.
Yeah. No, she was great, but yeah, she only had an hour, but it was fine. But I'm glad you're here because, as I say, Matt's gone as well. Sally's ill, so yeah, it's good that you've been able
No,
to.
unfortunately, that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
but yeah, um, but we talk about legends, and you're obviously in the legendary group, right? But there's another legend here, right, in chat. He's been missing for a minute, and here he is, Dave Umberger. So Dave, I love Dave, and he's not been here for a while. So I hope you're well, Dave. I know you know you've probably been around. I hope you are feeling better after surgery. You know that you're loved here, Dave. So don't don't leave it so long next time, Dave, please. Because the ladies miss you, Dave. Dave's 68, 69, and the ladies all love him. He gets the ladies here pumping. And we got Dr. Hines on the booze. He's sophisticated. You missed all the
Oh
juicy stuff,
gosh.
Dr. Hines, apparently. Josie said,
Oh,
missed all the juicy stuff. And he hasn't got his
um.
hat on, Josie.
Oh,
Uh,
Josie, I love your new picture.
yeah, she looks very, very beautiful, doesn't she, there?
Yeah, she's
Uh,
amazing.
share,
Nice to see you, Josie.
share, share the exclusive with the doctor. So the exclusive is that you were told
Let's not.
there's
Hey,
a one
Nanya, hope you're well.
the juror told us that at the end of the trial, the judge went in to speak to the jurors at the end, and the judge turned
Right.
to them and said, turned to all of them saying, "I appreciate you all, really, good work, but this trial should never come to court. It should never be a trial." Um,
Yeah, she said that.
yeah, judge told the jurors that, yeah, it should never come to trial. So good job. Um, so I
Wait,
think
in the
that's
end? Wait, in the end,
the end.
or like? Oh,
No,
thank God! I was
the
like,
end.
you said that. Oh, wow.
In the end, after they found him not guilty. Um, so yeah, so I think that he would have, if they found him guilty, I don't think he would have had much jail time. I think the judge knew he should never come to this. I spent moving. Oh, good luck with the move, Dave. It's all right. Thank you for Josie, Dave Umberger. I hate moving. Move that ass, therapy. Move that ass. I love anything that has juice. We won't ask too much, Dave. Doc, hello, Doc from Dunya. Hello, Dave. Next time I
Hey,
move, it'll
Nanya.
be Pine Box. Jesus, Dave, man. So yeah, welcome, Dr. Hines. Really glad you're here because everyone's bored of me already. So they're like,
No,
"Where's he going?" I was like, "Well,
I'm
he's
just
here.
sorry. I'm
He's
just
here."
sorry I'm late. I'm just sorry I'm late. Like I rarely come down to this part of England, so my friend lives down here. So
Yeah, where are
it
you?
was my only chance. Hello.
Yeah, where are you, mate? Where are you?
I think he lost you.
No, I
Oh,
still got you.
East Horsley. So
Oh,
yeah, like I mean he's Horsley, so like it's down the south, and she lives a bit like around Exeter, so it's kind of close
oh,
nearby
okay.
for her. Yeah, so she made the trip to come and to come and say hi because we rarely get to meet unless she comes down to London, which is a mission and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, and that was my fault. It was my scheduling fault. Because I should have tried to push it earlier, like 12 noon, but I'm here now. I do apologize for that. and I wanted to give you
Right.
this week, to come in early, but you got me to the end of the stream now, so it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, look, I'll just explain to everyone. Look, when people need to realize, Sally and Dr. Hines, when they committed to do this trial, it was like a 7 to 8 week trial. So this is now turned into a 16, maybe 17, 18 week trial. So there's always going to be, it's asking a lot for people to come and give their time all the time. So the fact that Dr. Hines is in the woods somewhere in a bloody tent, joining us is, well, I mean, thank you. We don't appreciate, we appreciate you for doing that, because you could have just said you can't make it this week, and I would have been fine with that,
Oh,
so so
oh,
really appreciate you coming. We're not going to have a
I
long stream
appreciate
today
that.
because Matt's off. He can't get on, his internet's off. So I'm only going to cover a little bit of this trial today. So probably maybe another hour or so, because this is about Matt, and we're watching stuff now, and he's not getting input into it. So it's going to be a
Oh,
short
is he not
trial.
coming back?
I don't think he is. He can't get back on to the
Oh,
internet at the minute. So unless
oh,
he comes
that's
back
that's a
on the
shame.
next, yeah, if he doesn't come back on next hour, we'll call it a day and then come back fresh next week. Um,
Right, right.
so also it's you're on holiday and I can finish early anyway, so it's fine. So and also, well, we'll see how it goes now. But we'll play this
Yeah.
for a little bit and see what this witness is like, and then
Hey
over
Anna.
the break and
Hey
take it
Anna.
from there.
She's amazing. Sorry.
Hannah's great. She's been to Exeter. Hannah's great. 2 weeks ago, you were day one, I believe, maybe wrong. Yes, we were, and this is day two. So yeah, we're well, but it's about Matt. It's not about the trial. It's about him. So we'll see. But thanks, Dave. Right, here we go. I'm going to pop off screen for a second. I've got one slice of pizza left to eat, and then I'll be back, guys. But you've got the beautiful Dr. Hines in front of you, so it's fine. Right, here we go. Here we go. Dave Umger. Thank you, Dave. Been a member for 3 months. Cheers, Dave. Go Pack, go. Green Bay Packers. Good man. Appreciate you.
Contact the on-call investigator for the coroner's office.
And did an investigator with the coroner's office come out to the scene that evening?
Yes, he did.
And what was that individual's name?
His name is Charles Carlson.
Were you still on scene when the coroner investigator showed up?
Yes, I was.
And were you still on scene when BCI showed up?
Yes, I was.
And do you recall who from BCI was dispatched?
I believe Chad Holcomb was there and another agent. Her name was Asia. I do not recall her last name.
At some point, then, did you leave the scene?
Yes, I did.
Was that crime scene maintained after you left?
Yes, it was.
And were you able to see that on the crime scene log?
Yes, that would all be noted on there.
What was the reason why the crime scene was maintained overnight?
So BCI was able to do a lot of their investigation that night that they needed to, but we wanted to have the benefit of daylight the next day for them to see everything around there to make sure nothing was missed.
Were the remains collected from the woods?
Yes, they were.
And what happens to them next in that kind of situation?
So in this specific situation with Delaware County doesn't do their own autopsies. So the remains were sent to the Montgomery County Coroner's Office out in Dayton for the autopsy to be completed there.
Based on your training experience, if there is a body that needs an autopsy in Delaware County, is that generally where they go?
Yes.
And I guess I should ask you for the record, is the location where these remains were found in Delaware County, state of Ohio?
Yes, it is.
Westerville spans, the city of Westerville, is that all contained in Delaware County?
No, it's not. We split between Franklin and Delaware County.
Were you familiar with the remains going to the Montgomery County Coroner's Office for an autopsy?
Yes, I was.
And were you aware of where the remains went after that?
Yes, I was.
And where's that?
Due to the severe decomposition of the body, Montgomery County Coroner's Office asked that the body be sent to Ohio State University so the anthropologist there could assist with the autopsy.
And were you aware that the remains were, in fact, transferred to Ohio State?
Yes, I was.
Were you aware of a report being authored by the anthropologist at Ohio State?
Yes, I was.
And do you recall when that report came out?
I don't remember the exact date. I know it took a very, very long time. I believe it was January of 21 before we got that report.
So remains were found in September. As your recollection, it was January before you had a report from the
Correct.
After that report came back, what were the next steps?
Once that report came back, it involved a lot of archaeological terms. So we wanted to sit down with the author of it and also consult with the prosecutor's office and another expert to be able to interpret that information that was presented to us.
And was another expert asked to take a look at everything?
Yes, he was.
And who was that?
Dr. William Smock.
And did the Westville Police Department provide to Dr. Smock any of the items that he requested to be able to review the investigation and the evidence?
Yes, we did. Anything that he asked for was authorized to be given to him.
And did Dr. Smock author a report in this case?
Yes, he did.
And do you recall when it was that you received Dr. Smock's report?
That would have been, we were into probably May at that point by the time we got his report back.
May of 2021?
Yes, sir.
If I have one moment.
So Dr. Hines is there, I believe, but he's not on screen. Just in case anyone's wondering, he's frozen. Smock is Smuck. So please subscribe. Please subscribe to Dr. Hines, his YouTube channel. Follow him on Twitter. All the links are there with Sarah. Help support his channel. He's got a Cash App. I'm not sure if he's got memberships open or not yet, but if he has, then please become a member or consider it if you are a fan of his. You can buy some more ketchup then. Right.
Ross, please.
One moment, Your Honor. Let's have a lot.
Do you want this up?
Yeah, I'll take it.
No. Well, Erin, right, he's gone off. He'll be back in now. Here he is. Erin, to be fair to me, right? To be fair, here he is. He's back. Guess who's back? Hinesy's back. The doc is back.
Sorry about that. My Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi is bad here at the campsite. Apologies for that.
No, don't worry. That's why we're going to keep it short. We're going to keep it short today, right? I think once we're done with this witness, we'll cut it, right? So we've not got a long time here, Hines. Because we'll come back fresh. We'll come back fresh next week. You'll have better Wi-Fi and hopefully
and better lighting.
yeah, and better lighting. And we'll have Matt back hopefully. So yeah, we'll finish this with this. There's not long to go with this with this, I don't think. Let me have a look. Oh, he's still going. He's actually on there for a fair bit. Oh, there's a break in about 40 minutes, 40 odd minutes. So we got another 40 odd minutes to go, guys. And Erin, all the guests are freezing or disappearing. Maybe it's you, Paddington. I know. It might be me. It might be no, it's not me. But I know Erin is bad, isn't it? It's one of those days. One of those days today. Smack is a state star with this, and he's a smuck. Oh, smock. Smuck. Here we go.
Hate this.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good to see you. I've got some questions. I'm sure you can imagine. I might just be using it back and forth. Can we?
No.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
He's camping. He's camping. Dunya, he's camping.
No,
Not in an airport.
I'm in a tent. So I do apologize for the light. I didn't bring my ring light, so that one is on me.
It's so good, man. I'm just glad that you popped in. Do you know what I mean? As in, appreciate the fact that you've. Do you know what? Most people would have done, made the effort, mate. So I appreciate the fact that you made an effort to be here today. You didn't have to be here. Do you know what I mean? So I very much appreciate you for that. That means a lot to me. Did you decide on the name for the members? Yes. Here you go, Taco Club, Hannah. So we got the Taco Club and we got the Blue Wenches, Hannah. So two members, layers of members, and Matt Moore was the first Taco Club member, and yes, Dunya laughing. Yeah, he's camping. Dunya, he's camping. He's camping.
Just want to. I'll jump around a bit, but I want to really start, Lieutenant, just kind of in terms of individuals in your department. I know you talked about on May 26, 2020, and just to orient the jurors, what day of the week was that?
Well, that would have been a Tuesday.
So Tuesday was the first time that you had seen sort of the case packet, if you will, of Emily Noble gone missing.
That is correct.
And it was your testimony on direct that in advance of seeing the packet, Detective Grubbs had come to you and said, I want that case.
That is correct.
And Detective Grubbs is assigned generally to what type of work?
All of our detectives
Is
are
that
assigned
better?
to general case. However,
Yeah,
Detective Grubbs also specializes in juvenile crimes.
Juvenile crimes is his sort of specialty, right?
In addition to all of our detectives are responsible for any type of case that might come their way.
So I want to talk about just generally, you reviewed, did you not, Detective Grubbs's report or his progress of investigation report in this case. Is that right?
I did.
And in fact, we know that you've reviewed it because your electronic signature as the supervisor is on the end of that report.
Correct.
And it's pretty meaty. Let me see if it's page numbered. It is. It appears to be 80 pages. Does that sound about right?
It does.
Because I want to make sure I'm understanding some things you said about the searches.
Objection, Your Honor. We have questions.
Thank you, Judge. You were asked, showing you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 4. And I should ask, since you reviewed, why does this not work that well for me? Since you reviewed Detective Grubbs's report, I'm assuming, and tell me if I'm wrong, I'm assuming that wherever your name was mentioned as being a participant, if that was inaccurate, you certainly would have let Detective Grubbs know that that was inaccurate.
Correct.
All right. And so this is getting to my question now. I thought on direct examination, you were asked if on 525 or 526, you or any other officers searched either this area or this area here. Do you remember being asked that question on direct?
I do.
And I thought you said no.
Sorry about that.
Tell me
Internet,
if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I
internet
was under the
issues.
understanding the patrol officers had already searched the area along the bike path and along County Line Road.
Okay, so it's your understanding, let me just be clear, your understanding that patrol officers had searched sort of this area here.
On the 25th, that is correct.
Now, let's take this in phases. It's a missing person. And I think kind of from your direct examination, we learned that this isn't the first missing person report under your 20 plus years, right?
Correct.
Children go missing, adults go missing. Sometimes they're found right away, sometimes they aren't.
Objection to compound question.
I'm not sure I've heard all the question yet. Please finish it.
I'll rephrase. Missing persons are something that is kind of part of those happen, right?
They do.
And once you get a missing person report, wouldn't you agree with me that literally, by definition, searches are searching for the person?
Yes, they are.
And usually, because of that, you have a, hopefully best case, you have a picture of the person, right?
Mhm.
Physical description, are they tall, short, height, color, hair, right?
Yes.
Because you and those searching want to know what you're looking for, right?
That is correct.
So searches are looking for a specific someone. And in this case, wouldn't you agree that as of May 25th, 2020, the person being looked for was Emily Noble?
Yes,
You had a description,
we did.
physical description. You had a hair color.
We did.
You even had information that she might always be wearing black.
We did.
You knew her height, weight, so you knew what you were looking for.
Correct.
And so you would agree with me, and just kind of a common sense question, that if I'm searching for a person and I'm only walking on a sidewalk, but there's a wooded area next to me, I might think to look into the wooded area for the missing person.
Yes.
So on the 25th, we know that patrol officers searched this general area, and I've indicated the county line, the bike path here. But from your review of Detective Grubb's reports, I just want to make sure. Tell me if you remember on May 26th at 0944, which I think that would be 9 a.m., 9:44 a.m.,
9:44, yes.
that you, Detective Peachy and Detective Grubbs searched the woods along where Matt said he and Emily walked. We did not find anything of evidentiary value. Do you remember that experience?
Yeah, I do remember that we did walk the bike path. I know we started on the bike path at County Line and we worked our way north. I don't recall going into the woods. As I remember, we had the three of us, kind of one in the middle of the bike path and one on each side, looking on both sides of the bike path to see if they saw anything.
But my first part about that question is the date. 9:44 a.m. on the 26th, so Tuesday.
Correct.
Because you were asked on direct, I want to make sure we're clear. Do you remember on May 26th at 0944 searching with Detective Peachy and Detective Grubbs? Let's start there.
I do remember that now.
Okay, so that's on the 26th on Tuesday. And tell me, and if I'm wrong, you know, I know you'll tell me, but I'm assuming that when three officer personnel of the caliber of you, Detective Peachy and Detective Grubbs, are searching together, you're not just the three of you walking the sidewalk and just kind of talking.
No,
You're searching for Emily.
of course.
And that's true of when you walk County Line.
Correct.
Right when you walk County Line, and you remember that electrical box right there?
Mhm.
You walked that exact area.
Yes.
And I'm assuming you were not looking straight, that you were, even if you're on the sidewalk, you were looking into the woods.
We were.
So that's on the 26th. Now, I want to talk to you about And you had information.
Oh no!
did you
Don't tell me I
not,
lost
that Emily
connection.
liked to forage.
Are we still here?
Oops. Yes, still hear me? Still here? Can you hear me? They all say Blair Witch Hines. Erin, that's class. Erin's not. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. But I appreciate him making the effort. I mean, he doesn't need to be here. He's made the effort, so fair play to him. And like as I say, Sally's ill as well. So, but she wanted to be here today, and say it's fine. And Matt, oh God knows what Matt is. Matt's probably watching this, going, "Why can't they hear me?" So we'll see. That's why I want to finish this early today.
And walk in that general area.
Yes, we did.
So I want to just go through the searches if we can. And I've got some maps marking this as defendant's exhibit. I believe we're on E, Your Honor.
Here he is.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with the Wi-Fi. I don't know what's wrong with the Wi-Fi here.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with the Wi-Fi. All right.
You got feedback. Blair Witch Hines.
Blair
love
Witch
that.
Hines.
I love that. And the thing is, Erin's not normal. She's not normally funny.
I'll give her that one. Give her that one. I'll give her that one.
Give her that one.
And Lieutenant, these maps you will see
Try and
that the
fix that.
seat has been provided with these maps have some arrows on it, but tell me, you feel free to tell me or correct as we go through the testimony. You can use that screen. The canine search on 5/26.
Oops.
And you wrote a report in this case?
I did.
And in your report, fair to say, you detailed these canine searches.
I did.
And canines are, as part of your experience in law enforcement, are a tool that can be used to locate bodies.
Yes.
There's certain dogs that can follow scent.
Correct.
And there's certain dogs that are specifically trained to locate things that are dead.
Yes.
And those are called cadaver dogs.
Correct.
And then you were talking during your direct examination about search dogs, right?
Bloodhounds, correct.
Bloodhounds.
Yes.
And bloodhounds, if I can use another lay word, scent dogs.
Correct.
So we've got the scent dogs that are tracking for an individual based on scent. And then we've also got the cadaver dogs.
Correct.
Just want to make sure that the jury understands there are different types of dogs trying to sense different things.
Yes.
And based on your experience as a law enforcement officer, fair to say that canine dogs are trained specifically for either as a bloodhound or as a cadaver.
Correct.
And let's talk about the bloodhound dogs. Because they're actually trying to track a scent, isn't it true that as an officer or law enforcement generally gather items that may belong to the person in which they're trying to track their scent?
Yes, we will.
So essentially you're giving the scent to the dog, so the dog learns this is the scent I'm supposed to track.
Correct.
And that's part of the process with a bloodhound, is it not?
Yes, it is.
So give me one moment.
Doc is gone. Right. What do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to do about this? We'll stop this after this witness. But do you want to then? I can carry on with not this, but go to the last murder trial. Here he is again.
My Wi-Fi.
Mate,
Sorry, I'm on my
mate, it's
on my
absolutely
normal
fine.
network, so it should be fine. I'm sorry about that.
Mate, don't do that. Don't do that because that takes away a lot of your thing, mate. We're about to finish, mate. So it's all good. It's all good. Just honestly, cut it for the night, mate. Don't use your own network stuff, mate. Honestly, please don't do that because I know how much that of pain that is. But there's not much left on this trial, mate. So come back fresh up next week. Honestly,
Yeah.
don't worry about today. Yeah, oh, mate. Oh, the fact that you've even tried means the world to me. I don't underestimate
I
that.
finally got it sorted
Honestly,
out, though. I finally got it sorted out, but it's fine. I appreciate you anyway. Thank you.
no worries, man. And I'll
But
see you next week. But
no worries. See you then.
sorry, but enjoy your camping.
Thank you.
Sorry, mate. So I'll make a poll now, guys, for us here. Right, let me just find this now.
Bye, everyone.
I'll put, sorry, mate. I'll put this. So either we do, if you want me to cover the bathtub trial this evening, this after, like literally straight after we finish this, or do you want to just leave it till tomorrow? What do you want to do? So I will. I'll put a poll up to see what you guys want to do. I'll do whatever you want. It doesn't bother me.
One moment, you're on. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. So the search of May 26. Let's talk about that with respect to, you mentioned the Claremont County Sheriff's Office. Those were bloodhounds that came to the scene on May 26th. Is that correct?
Correct. Just as a matter of correction, it was Crawford County. I know it was written in a report someplace that it was Claremont County, but that was mistaken.
Okay, I'm
But
only as good as.
I understand. But yes, it was a bloodhound that was brought in from Crawford County.
So it's a bloodhound. And the bloodhound comes to the scene at 11:24. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
And you, that 11, you're there, Peachy's there, Detective Grubbs is there, right?
Correct.
And the dog, as part of the protocol, is given the sense, if you will, that they are asked to track.
Yes, they are.
And you've used bloodhounds before, certainly during the course of your work as a law enforcement personnel.
Yes, I have.
Sometimes, fair to say, bloodhounds can actually track a scent, and sometimes they can't.
Correct.
So in this case, I want to start initially with the dog begins at 46 Abbey Cross.
That is correct.
And based on, and you included in detail where the dog went in your report, but does this look, based on your recollection now, the dog traveled in this direction on Abbey Cross?
Between the two bloodhounds, I can't remember which one went all the way to the end of Abbey Cross and which one came up in between the two condos there.
Okay. So, and that actually takes me to the next one, because there was actually two bloodhounds.
There were.
And each of them is given the scent that they are being asked to track.
That is
right?
correct.
And tell the jurors how the dog handler actually, does the dog handler lead the dogs, or do the dogs lead the dog handler?
The dogs lead the dog handler.
They're in charge.
Yes, they are.
So you're not sure if one dog goes this direction or through here, but would you agree with me that they both end up in this back area here?
Yes, they did.
And then, do they not? They end right here where this dot is.
They did.
And that dot right there, Lieutenant, this is actually a house, is it not?
It is.
And I know that you were there with the dogs, but fair to say that this is, you can walk this area right here, can you not?
Yes, you can.
And in fact, this is kind of some mowed grass in this field right here.
Yes.
And as you pop out here, let me clear it so jurors can see it. This is actually a driveway, is it not?
It is.
Going, not so much. Going straight to State Street.
Yes, it is.
And the dogs stop right here at the driveway.
Correct.
I want to, and those are the bloodhounds. I'm going to go.
Happy either way, although it's good to have Matt's input. So on that basis, do the bath. Yeah, I'm stopping this anyway. Happy to join it. I'll stick around with whatever. Yeah, I'm stopping anyway after this. It's whether we do the bathtub trial or not. And some of you, I think it's about 50-50 now. I'll have a look. I think we are, just in case this might persuade people differently. Oh, geez. Okay, we're about 4.5 hours behind. Oh, geez. Yeah, I don't think we can. Oh my God. Matt owes us. I gave May a trial for this Wednesday. Oh, sorry. Well, join. I mean, literally, I'm about to finish this anyway. I think it's finishing in. Oh, Jesus, no, hang on. Yeah, 20 minutes. What for the bathtub? You mean? Because I'm just conscious. I'm just conscious that I have said that tomorrow, and some people aren't here who've been with us for the trial. Like Emma's not here, for instance, and she's been here for the trial. What are you happy to then? Would it be nice for you to have a? I mean, it would be nice, yes. I'm just. Yeah, I'm just. Josie, they do due instructions for the May trial all day, no testimonies. I'm just conscious that some people aren't here, Erin. After saying we'll do it, I'm conscious that people aren't here. Maya's had me hooked, but I'm here for today, whatever we decide. That's fine. And I'm just remembering there's people that aren't here that I've watched the trial with us, and I'd hate for them to miss out. I did say it'll be tomorrow. Yeah, I think I'm not saying I've got to rest, but we'll do the bathtub tomorrow. Sorry, it's my fault. I hadn't considered like people like Emma and stuff that they've been people have been with us throughout the whole trial. I did say we'll do it tomorrow, so on that basis, I'll do it tomorrow. I know there's other people streaming it, which you can obviously go and watch, but look, I'll do what's best for you guys in the sense of I'd hate it if a streamer did that to me. So I'll respect the fact that I did announce it'll be tomorrow, and I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
Sticking with the bloodhounds. And
Sorry about that, guys.
We can talk about them being different, but I just kind of, for the jurors, want to stick to the same type of dog. It might be easier. There was a additional search. I'm sorry. F. Defendants marking what's defendants exhibit F, Your Honor.
Thanks, Sandra. Appreciate you.
F, and let me move this up. Why does this not get a little close? That was a good assist from the state there. There was on June 7th, there was another search by bloodhounds, was there not?
Yes, there was.
So, again, 2 dogs on the 7th?
No, I believe there was just one on the 7th.
Okay. 2 dogs on the 26th of May and just 1 dog on the 7th.
1 dog on May 26th was the bloodhound. 1 dog on the 27th, which was human remains detection dog.
Okay, I'm just trying to stick to bloodhounds. I'm not yet to the cadaver dogs.
Gotcha.
Okay, so bloodhounds, we've got May 26th was this map that we just went over, Defendant's Exhibit E, right?
Correct.
Okay, and you're not sure if one or the dogs went this way, but they both go in this direction here.
Correct.
Now, sticking with bloodhounds, so dogs that
Thanks,
are
Anna.
following or trying to track Emily Noble's scent.
Thanks, Dunya.
I want to go now to June 7th. According to your testimony, now it's just one bloodhound, right?
Correct.
And this bloodhound is asked to do the same thing as track Emily Noble's scent. And would you agree with me that this is the route they go this way down Abbey Cross? The dog does. And then this way up here?
That is correct.
And then the dogs stop here.
I believe
On
they
a
came
roll,
to
Aaron.
the,
On a roll.
through this wooded area and stopped at this driveway as well.
So between May 26th of 2020 and June 7th of 2020, the dogs tracking Emily's scent essentially end in the same place.
Correct.
Different dogs.
Correct.
And sometimes I ask questions that are obvious, but this one will be one of them. The park where Emily, or the wooded area where Emily is found, is over here.
That is correct.
Now, I want to talk about the cadaver dogs. The first cadaver dog that goes to 46 Abbey Cross is on May 27, 2020.
Correct.
And a cadaver dog, and it is specifically meant to find, detect, alert.
I couldn't do. Big Brother, after the first like 4 or 5 series, I've not got into it. I can't watch it anymore. It's just, I can't do it. So no, I'm not watching it. I will take a break this evening. Thank you guys, appreciate that. It was an early rise for me today because I had my youngest niece was ill, so I had her this morning, and I had to take my 2 middle nieces to school, which is fine because it was like I had to get up at 7:30, which is normal. But I was in bed till like 1:30, 2 o'clock after last night. We streamed for 10 hours yesterday, so I was, so I will rest up tonight, and we got tomorrow a big day. But thank you guys, appreciate all of you.
On anything essentially that is dead.
Correct.
And based on your training and experience, I assume that you also know that if a cadaver dog were to be at a vehicle, let's just say hypothetically, and a vehicle had a corpse in it at one time, right? The cadaver dog can still alert on the car without the corpse being in the car.
That's absolutely correct.
Because the corpse, if you will, could leave tissues or other things that the cadaver dog will be able to detect.
Correct.
Similarly, if a corpse is on a table and walks away, the dog might even hit or alert on that table.
That is correct.
Or to extend that kind of hypothetical, if a corpse were to have brushed against trees or shrubs or that kind of thing, perhaps a cadaver dog could also alert on a tree or shrub, something like that.
Yes.
Oh, I might have to, but
So on May 27th, Danielle Fate from Cleveland is brought down with the cadaver dogs. And there is 2 dogs that Danielle brings.
I believe she did bring 2. I only remember her having 1 out using 1 dog.
I want to talk about the areas where Danielle took the cadaver dog or dogs. The interior of the residence.
Correct.
And when Danielle is in the interior of the residence, she has unfettered access in that house, did she not?
She did.
There was no one that was saying you can't go here or can't go here.
Correct.
In fact, you made the call up to Cleveland to bring down the dog because her dogs were good.
I was honestly at that point the only cadaver dog that I could get a hold
It's
of.
horrible.
Okay. She comes down from Cleveland and she's in the house, right?
Correct.
So Emma, what we do, we're decided now. I was thinking about you as well, but we're gonna watch another about 15 minutes of this, then cut it, and then come back tomorrow for the trial for the bathtub murders.
And
So-
there's no one obstructing.
You've got not got long left to see me, so it's all good. But it's horrible. You are right. It's
obstructing the
horrible.
way, and the dog searched the entire residence.
Correct.
And you're aware there's an attic in the residence,
Yes.
and the dog searched the attic.
I don't recall the dog going up to the attic.
Well, you recall that there was an attic,
I do.
and nothing.
No, there were no alerts there.
And based on your experience, if a cadaver dog, like a bloodhound, well, if a cadaver dog, if there's a hit, the dog actually physically.
Well, one of the reasons was you, because like I'm not going to do the stream without Emma and some other stream. You know, you've been here watching it with us, so I wasn't going to play it. I know you're back now, but I've decided, and we're not doing it tonight now. So
reacts, does it not?
Yes, I've seen different dogs trained different ways. Some were called a passive alert, where they'll usually just sit, or sometimes an aggressive alert, which they've gone away from, where they'd scratch cars. But you're right, some sort of alert.
And the trainer, the dog trainer, knows exactly the alert of their dog and is looking for that to whether or not the dog does that.
Correct.
And then, in addition to the interior of the residence, there were two vehicles at the house. There was the Subaru and the Altima.
Correct.
And the dog or dogs also completely checked both vehicles.
They did.
There were no hits.
There were none.
And then Danielle took the dogs along, showing
worries,
you
Ann.
what's again been marked as Defense Exhibit D. She took the dogs along the bike path, right?
Correct.
And then tell the jurors north, east, south, and west here, so it's oriented.
So this would be north.
Never eat soggy Wheaties.
I'm sorry.
Never eat soggy Wheaties. So this
Correct.
So this is east, and so this is west over here, right?
Correct.
Okay, and I say that because you in your report you give directions as to where every person went. So I want to be clear. And then Danielle takes the dogs in the westward direction. Does she not?
She searched this whole area. I believe we started from the west and headed east and then north along the bike path, but essentially that whole area was searched.
And again, in terms of the dog or the dogs, nothing.
Nothing.
And you would agree with me that cadaver dogs aren't just sort of slowly walking with their head down and not actually working the area, right?
Yeah, they're usually walking at the end of their leash and trying to get as much scent as they can.
It was a sunny day.
I believe it was.
And you remember, I'm assuming that the Monday Memorial Day was a warm, sunny day as well.
Yes.
And then 2 days later, you use a cadaver dog again to go to a different area by Polaris. Do you remember that?
I do.
And I only mention it because the dogs were a tool that you and your department were using in your sincere searching effort to find out.
Correct.
And then you talked about on June 7th, employing the Texas EquiSearch company. What do you call them?
Organization. June 7th would have been their second search with us.
Okay. And they, of course, they searched a number of areas as you testified to on your direct.
Correct.
In and around Westerville.
Correct.
And I just want to say, in case any of the jurors are wondering, obviously, the first bloodhound search was on the 26th of May.
That is correct.
And the second bloodhound search, so the scent search, was on the 7th. Is that right?
That is correct.
At no point in time did any of the dog handlers, let me withdraw, ask a better question. As we know from the maps that I showed you, that it's not as if you have to be
So good, man. So good.
doing a bloodhound search within an hour. Is that right?
That is correct.
And I know I'm showing the witness what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit E and Defendant's Exhibit F. Again, just generally separate dates by a week plus, and the dogs generally went in the same direction with respect to scent.
Eight up the hinds.
And isn't it true, and tell me if I misremember, that the way you
The hinds to talk about Big Brother and stuff now. I'm not into Big Brother, but apparently it's supposed to be good this year.
were giving them the scent of Emily was actually from the miniskirt that she was seen wearing on her birthday.
On June 7th, I know we used a black miniskirt. I don't know that it was the one from her birthday or not.
And on the 26th, you had clothing in Emily's closet and other things that
Correct.
you knew had belonged at one time to Emily Noble.
Correct.
I want to go back through, marking this as defense exhibit. One second. G. Were you, tell me, were you the one, or were you aware of all sort of press releases or news releases that were made?
I was aware of the press releases and news releases, yes.
Showing you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit G. Lieutenant, do you recognize this?
I do.
And this is entitled, is it not, for immediate release?
It is.
Will you tell the jurors, and I want to make sure I have, tell the jurors what's the purpose of a document like this?
This is to notify the media of any significant event we have, obviously in this case, a missing person, so they can get that out to as many people as quickly as possible.
And the date of that immediate release is what?
May 26, 2020.
And on the second sentence of the immediate release, it says, does it not, and this is issued by Westerville Police Department?
It is.
It says Emily Noble, 52, was last seen around 9 a.m. on Monday, May 25th.
Correct.
And Monday, May 25th, you recall that was Memorial Day.
That is correct.
The same day at around 5:40-ish that Matt Moore called 911.
Correct.
Does this look like a fair and accurate copy of that immediate release?
Yes, it does.
Going back to the searches, because I jump around a bit. Ultimately, Emily's remains were found on September 16th of 2020.
Correct.
And you're aware that they were found by non-law enforcement personnel
Yes, I am.
that were out doing foot searches for Emily.
Correct.
And they were walking, were they not, along Defendant's Exhibit D?
See you tomorrow, Lou.
There was
Hopefully.
3 women walking together, correct?
Correct.
Walking along the same line right here.
Yes.
And it is when one of them actually locates Emily where she is ultimately found.
Correct.
tell me, because I know you were at the scene, how, and the jurors were there. How many feet would you say Emily's remains were from that side?
Maybe 100 feet in from the wood line,
100 feet from the county line,
from the tree line north.
from the tree line north. Did you ever measure that, or anyone from your department measure it? Do you know?
I don't know that it was measured.
In County Line Road, would you agree with me that that is a heavily trafficked road?
Yes, I would.
You would agree with me that, like, right here, there's nowhere legally where I could pull over my car,
Yeah.
perhaps, and park it there.
That is correct.
And you are aware, because I trust you are familiar with the area, that this resident in this house right here was home on Memorial Day weekend intermittently.
I don't know whether she was home or not.
Okay, and that's part of the investigation that you're not aware of.
Correct.
And there's, if you could orient the jurors, fair to say that there's an electrical box kind of somewhere in that general vicinity. If you're facing the wooded area, it's left of where Emily's remains were found.
That is correct.
Do you know how often that electrical box was serviced?
No, I do not.
Is that something your department checked?
I'm not aware of that being checked.
Just to see if that box was serviced at any point in time that summer?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Based on your training and experience, were there not some other searches done based on either vulture activity or smells that individuals called and reported?
That is correct.
And you know from your training and experience that dying, decaying bodies can emanate a smell.
Yes, they do.
And because of that, it's kind of let me take it into a different analogy. It's like when you might see vultures in a road with what we call roadkill, right?
Correct.
And the vultures can arrive, and sometimes we'll drive by that if our window is down, and we'll smell that smell.
Correct.
And it's a smell that stands out.
It does.
And it was warm Memorial Day weekend. It's fair to say it was about 80 degrees, if you remember.
I don't remember, but that seems normal.
And May, June, July, August, obvious question, but those are summer months.
Correct.
You were part of the neighbors or the other individuals that lived on Abbey Cross Road. Law enforcement made efforts to interview those individuals as well, correct?
Yes, we did.
They walked down, knocked, talked, interviewing individuals to see if they knew or heard of anything.
Correct.
And you were part of those efforts as well?
Yes, I was.
You talked about expert reports. You mentioned on your direct that your office received the report from Dr. Agnew in January of 2021. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
And does it sound right that in January of 2021, the same month that you had received the report from the Montgomery County Coroner's Office?
Correct.
And so the jury knows the Montgomery County Coroner's Office, although it's obviously a different county, they are the entity that actually does the autopsies for Delaware.
Correct. Yes, that is correct.
And so the remains were sent to Montgomery County. It is only Montgomery County that did the autopsy in this case.
Correct.
Because I thought I heard you say that the remains were taken to OSU for them to do an autopsy as well.
Let me clarify. They assisted with the cleaning the remains and looking at any injuries that may have occurred to those remains.
Fair enough, and I wanted to just make sure that we're clarified. The autopsy is done by the coroner's office.
Correct.
And then the remains were sent by your office in the state to OSU for additional testing.
Correct.
Is that a fair way to say it?
Yes, it is.
And where are the remains now?
I believe they are still with Ohio State.
Do you know where?
I do not.
You also, in January of 2021, received a report, and I just want to understand all the reports that were received from a Dr. Bolte. Do you remember that name?
I do.
And Dr. Bolte also works at the Ohio State University.
He does.
Were you present when he conducted the testing on the branch?
I was.
Fair to say that as part of the state's engagement with the Ohio State University in this case, you came to work with John Bolte.
Yes, I was present.
Bolte.
Bolte.
Yes, Bolte. He corrected me. Bolte. And you asked him, your department asked him to go out and conduct some testing to see if the branch where Emily was found would be able to hold her weight.
Correct.
And there was an initial visit to the scene, was there not?
There was.
Were you there on the initial visit?
Yes, I was.
And then he went out for a second visit where he actually conducted the testing.
That is correct.
And he, being Bolte, is in biomechanics at the Ohio State University.
Correct.
And the first test he conducted that you witnessed, was essentially with the crate, and he incrementally added weight to the crate.
That is correct.
And he used a USB cord?
He did.
And he placed the USB cord in the notches, which you can still see in the branch today.
Correct.
He placed it there, he added the weight, and of course you gave the doctor the information with respect to Emily's weight, so he knew how much weight needed to be added.
We did.
And that first test was called the static test.
I believe so.
And if you recall, was that test videoed or photographed?
They did take video and photographs, I believe.
And the branch, the same branch where she's found where the notches were, the branch held with the incremental weights being added up to 98 pounds.
Yes, it did.
Then after that test, there was a second test where a crash test dummy was used. Is that true?
Yes, it is.
And a crash test dummy where the legs were removed to really sort of mimic the way that Emily's remains were found.
I don't understand with the legs being removed. Can you rephrase?
The branch is 6 feet 3
I'm
inches
not
from
sure.
the ground. Do you remember that measurement?
I do.
And I don't know why I was here. I'm not that tall. So the branch is 6 feet and 3 inches from the ground. When the doctor was there doing the testing, a crash test dummy was used, correct?
That is correct.
USB cord, same thing with the notches over the branch where they already were pre-existing. And a dynamic test was done
That is correct.
to see if the crash test dummy that weighed 98 pounds, if just dropped, could the branch sustain that?
Correct.
And that test was done and the branch held the weight.
Yes, it did.
It did. Dr. Bolte issue a report.
Yes, he did.
And did you receive that report?
Yes, we did.
Tell me, in terms of another expert, was it you or was it Detective Grubbs that reached out to the University of Tennessee, or what might be called the Body Farm, to see if you could enlist their help?
That was Detective Grubbs.
Okay. So you weren't part of that.
No, I was not.
And then you talked about Dr. Smock, an engagement with Dr. Smock. Have you worked with Dr. Smock before?
No, we have not.
You at Westerville Police does not work.
No, we have not.
And his report was issued in May of 2021.
Correct.
Fair to say that he's the last of the expert reports that were received by Westerville or the state of Ohio in this
Yes,
case.
it was.
And up until the issuance of his report, there was no pending indictment against Matt Moore.
No, there was not.
So Emily's missing on May 25th. She's found in September 16th of 20. Dr. Smock's report is issued in May of 2021. And when is Matt Moore charged with the murder of Emily Noble?
I don't remember the exact date. I believe it was late May.
Late May,
I believe so.
right after Dr. Smock's report.
Yes.
I'm going to go just a few other questions, Your Honor, and then I'll be done. You mentioned about May 24th, and you having information that Emily and Matt went to, is it Buchtel, Ohio?
Correct.
Buchtel, Ohio that morning. Just generally, tell the jurors, if you know, how far is Buchtel, Ohio from Westerville?
I believe it's about an hour and a half southeast of Columbus.
Each way.
Correct.
And you had information that Emily and Matt went to Buchtel, Ohio on May 24, 2022, which would have been her actual birthday.
Correct.
And through the course of your investigations, being lieutenant in the department, that's
Go
true,
on.
is it not, that they went to Buchtel that morning?
Yes, it is.
An hour and a half each way, so total travel time, even if you just went to Buchtel and came right back, is 3 hours.
Yes, it is.
One moment, Your Honor.
Right. I think she's finished with him.
Nothing further.
Juror questions? Welcome, Dawn. Lovely to see you. Body farm. Yeah, I heard about the body farm through. Oh, here we go. No, he's gonna ask. Sorry, forgot about this.
So you have a question?
Thank you. The people that the defense was speaking of, will we speak to those people or listen to them? So I just need to know if I need to direct my question to him or to those people directed to them.
If you have a question that you would like to ask this officer, feel free to write it down.
Okay.
And if he can answer the question, he will. If he can't, we'll deal with it down the road. Does that cover that for you? Okay. I thought you wanted a restroom break.
Oh, no.
Okay. You want a restroom break? All right. Let's take 10.
Okay, let's stop it there then. We'll stop that there. Remember that, right? That's weird. I heard about it where the what do you call it? The Sandra Bullock. Oh, I love the film. With the American football player. I can't remember it right now, not right this second, but or his name was Orr, and the family brought him in, and he became a star in the NFL and stuff, won the Super Bowl and stuff. Blindside, that's the one. The Blindside. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Erin. I don't know why I started talking about that. Oh, that's how I found out about the body farm through the Blindside. I watched the Blindside loads of times, but now they're suing. He's suing the Blindside, isn't he? The family. So, you know, redirect. I don't think there's anyone online that I would redirect you to be quite honest, evening, yeah. But yeah, so obviously, so Dawn, you come on the wrong time, Dawn. We had technical difficulties, so please go back and watch it. Connie was good, was very good. I enjoyed her. So she took over the first hour. Then Matt had difficulties, so he's gone offline and he's not even back online yet. So, and Sally is ill today, and Dr. Hines is camping, and obviously his internet. Well, the Wi-Fi is really bad there, so he tried, but wasn't good. So that's why we've got a short. I say short stream today. It's been like 3.25 hours, but not much from the trial itself though. So we'll keep that going till next time, because we got about 2.5 hours to go on this one. I learned about it through Patricia Cornwell books. Don't know her books. So plan is tomorrow. So we're finishing for the day. Yesterday was a long 10-hour stream. Today I got the gym in the morning. I was up early this morning, as well. So sometimes it's nice just to finish a bit early. I can catch up with some stuff that I want to watch, like the Hoof GP. The Hoof GP. I love the Hoof GP. I want to watch some of his videos. So tomorrow we're back at 9 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock UK time, 8 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time, and 3 o'clock European Time. So we got the bathtub murders now. They might bring back a result today for the bathtub murders. They might do. I don't know. If they do, please try not to say anything chat tomorrow. I'm not going to check up on it. We'll watch it fresh. And I know some people are going to find out what it is and stuff, but please don't try and I know you would never do it deliberately. No one would, but try and contain that excitement. Oh yeah, but they're taking. Sorry, sorry, I'm with you now. Yeah, but the states they're taking a break now, so I just think it's nice to end it there. I know there's a redirect, but we can talk about this witness with Matt next week then, so that we don't skip it. So I get what you mean now. I get what you mean now. And yeah, thank you. I thought redirect as a. I don't know whose channel I would redirect to. I tried Dr. Hines before, and he didn't give me access. So a lot of people don't do the access thing. Anyone can redirect to me. I don't care. Get more people here. So and then Friday, I presume this probably could be a verdict today or tomorrow in that trial. Friday, we'll do a special members only one. We'll talk about some residents of Indiana, wine mums. We will, watch some other stuff, some cows. But yeah, we will. I'll keep it secret. I don't want people to know what we're doing. So yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. So that's sorry to disappoint everyone today. I know it's not been a good stream. Right, you are in trouble, Mister. You are in trouble, Jonathan. Where the fuck have you been? Where have you been? I've been waiting all day for you to pee it, and you haven't turned up. I'm joking, but I'm only half joking. We missed you, Jonathan, when you're not in chat. Missed you, dude. I used to watch Dr. Michael Beeden perform autopsy on HBO. Ah, okay. Not my cup of tea, but okay. I didn't see you on this one. No, it's all good. It's all good, bud. It's all good. It's all good. Plus, I had a doctor's appointment. That's all good. I'm teasing, but we do miss you when you're not here. But I understand you're a busy guy, aren't you? So you go, look, I'm teasing. Go and watch other streams, whatever you guys want to do. I'm teasing. But you did miss the juror. I thought you might have some questions for her. No jury questions. There will be, but afterwards, from next week. It's just I don't want to go too far ahead without Matt. To be quite honest with you, I was hoping he'd join us, you see, but he didn't. So that's why I'm not going to keep going. Do you know what I mean? So, oh, so I'm tired. So yeah. So remember to be here, Jonathan, bright and early tomorrow for you, sir, to watch the bathtub trial. We've got that on tomorrow morning. We've got 2 days to well, there might be I'll say it might be a verdict today. If there is, fine, but just don't spoil it. But that's about it then. Good blood. I had that last week. So yeah, that's all we got, guys. I don't think there's anything else. Sorry, it's not been the best stream I've ever done, but it's been okay. Well, I mean, it's nearly 7:30 here, so thank you, Sandra. It's nearly 7:30, so it's been a fairly long day anyway. But hopefully we get all the besties back, as in talk with Sally, Matt, and everyone. It'll be a much better stream then. With Connie on, yeah, no, Connie. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Connie. Connie was great. It's just I like to bash these through, and I know how much you guys appreciate Matt as well. So, but unfortunately, his internet. And unfortunately, no one's commented on my haircut today. I did my hair today as well. I did it myself. No one said anything. Awkward. Oh, I got a little bit of a patch there. No, that's too long. Oh, I've not done enough there. Damn you. Need to go back over that then. Yeah, it's too long. Look at that. Damn it. I thought I got it all. Anyway, you missed the spot. I know. Hey, I'll check you out with your jokes, Erin Hack. Didn't know you were funny, Erin. I decided too late. I should have been a pathologist. I know. I mean, I'm sure if we all had options again, we'd choose different careers, So, or maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, with that, I love you all as always. Thank you for being here. I don't dismiss it. I do appreciate you giving me your time. Uh, I do enjoy having you in chat. So, Jonathan, I want to see you here tomorrow, Jonathan. I need to know more about cars and stuff. But yeah, it's one of those days today. So, Bathtub Murders, they're members only. Jonathan, I think you like members only, so we'll try and do some stuff too. It'll be non-trial stuff. So, some stuff that we've spoken about before, we'll be watching. So, like with the right bones, you can tell male. Yeah, no, it is interesting. It is interesting. You're right. Right, with that, I'm going to close down. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate you, love you. Take care. Oh, night, Emma. No worries, Emma. Appreciate you as always. See you soon. See you tomorrow, guys. Bright and early, 2 o'clock our time, Emma. Take care, guys. Love you all.